Yeah, let's talk, let's talk, let's talk, let's talk, let's talk, let's talk. Yeah, we need more wisdom, we need more love. I'm screaming peace on my people, I'm talking one love. And positive people, we need some more of. And black-owned businesses in my neighborhood really need to talk about our condition. TV and the media is painting strange pictures. If you see a black man, get your gun because he's vicious. Cops been killing us. Why you think it's cop killers died in the line of duty and the system is his victims? And when you hit the courtroom, you already convicted. But Trayvon and Michael Brown still ain't getting no justice in the long list of names. What you saying? They deserve it. People love our culture, but it's so hard to be urban. And all these urban legends, boy, I swear they ain't a story. Power to the people and the God be the glory. I'm talking to the people when we share our testimony. Let's talk, let's talk, let's talk, let's talk, let's talk, let's talk.
Hey, my people, what's going on? This is Major TV. Let's talk. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom, hotep, and good day. I'm glad that I have some people on viewing. I am late, of course. I started late. Some came up, and then I'm waiting on the elder to also come into the live and what have you. But I want to thank everybody that's tuning in, and I appreciate the love and support. Please like and share the video. I appreciate that. Javon Brothers Jr., greetings, Major and B1 family. Salute, Javon. What's up? Glad you are in. I see 9 people viewing. Why don't y'all come in the chat? Let me know what's going on with you. How you doing? What's up? Shout yourself out. Shout me out. You know what I'm saying? Give it to the Most High. We definitely have a very I'm gonna say a very interesting conversation because I'm at a point where if we don't unite, yeah, I'm at that point. And the reason why I'm going in like that, because I think we taking for granted what our forefathers and foremothers have created for us, what the Most High has demonstrated to us, and I have to just address that. Hey, D. Marie Ben Rob, how you doing? Shalom, Shalom, Major. Man, I'm rushing. What's up with me? Shalom, my brother. That Major TV. Shalom, beautiful black family. Shalom, you too, D. Marie. Glad you're able to come. Drew, I'm gonna do my work. What I'm rushing for? What's up? Yeah, appreciate you coming through, sweetheart. I really, really love when I see my people come through and just holler at me. I'm not asking much for y'all to come in here. How you doing? What's up? Give something to the Most High. You know, I'm just gonna communicate like Major TV about real engagement and conversation with the black community. That's all I'm about. You know, all other stuff is just extra. You know, and I'm not trying to be extra, but I'm just trying to get in and get out. You know, straight up. So I appreciate you coming through, D. Marie. But yeah, we gonna really talk about some real stuff. Again, I'm waiting on the elder to come in, but I already have what I want to talk about. Whenever he come in. If he texts me, need another link, I can send that to him too. But yeah. Take your time, son. Take your time. You got so much on your brain. Thank you, Spiritual Rising. Shalom, family. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate you so much. Lindell Williams, shalom, bro. Major and Black fam. NFAC, BKN. GMJ, for real. Like, thank you so much, shalom, Lindell, for coming through. Marie said, always here to support you, my brother. That means a lot to me. And I'm just not patting my chest over my heart. That means a lot, just knowing that you coming out here to support me, just because you know that I try to bring the truth. I try to encourage, I try to show black people I care. So it means a lot to me, D. Marie. Thank you so much for your love and support. Laura Mold in the building. Hey, hey. Sound like Fat Out. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, Major Alabama rocking with you. In fact, thank you so much for real. Like, it's real out here, y'all. And we don't be putting boots on the ground. We don't be getting out here and really trying to make a difference in our community. We just talking. Real talk. SJ Louisville, Kentucky here. Thank you so much, SJ. Appreciate you so freaking much. And my girl Heather Denise Hara Son 01. Peace made TV and chat. Peace to you, sister. Glad you was able to come through. Real talk. Jason in the building. Yeah. Grand Rising Major, but I'm beginning to think it's already too late for our people. I've been thinking like that for a very long time. I won't lie, just my lifetime of living and just watching. I've been around, half a century now, so I've seen the ups and downs, but mainly a lot of downs, you know what I'm saying? You might have some bright moments in history, I don't know. Because, what I might consider like something special for black people was good. Somebody might say, no, like, one said whenever black people, really can say, they really had a real special moment in this country, you know what I'm saying? I mean, probably way back in the day, and they were so racist back then, but they had their own towns, they were doing their own thing. You know what they did? They invaded them communities and stuff like that. My girl up there poking the building. Shalom, Major TV and family, love, peace, and blessings. Shalom to you up there. Thank you so much for your constant support. Real talk. Oscar McQueen, the building, B1 for real. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate the people that's in the chat that's viewing me. Y'all can do me a favor. Would y'all like and share this video? If you're new to my channel, subscribe. Subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I'm dropping content. I do lives, I do audios, I do videos, what have you, but that's what I do, y'all. I try to reach the people the best way I can without, being unfiltered to a certain degree. I don't have to use all profanity and all kind of stuff, getting loose and mad and crazy about what. A lot of time, I see people doing that in my mind, be like, you're gonna bust a grape in the fruit fight, with all that for. I watch guys that print and get their head knocked off, I never understood that. You're always supposed to be the commercial back in the day, right? I do the commercial. And I stuck when I was a kid, right? Never let them see you sweat. And I remember Dan Reeves off of Denver. He was the first player I remember when he was coaching Denver. When he was talking about every time, like in the game, they asked him about how he handled pressure, right? Because he'd been like 3 Super Bowls, I believe, but Denver never won none, right? And he was like, I don't care how big, I don't care how bad it look, I don't care I'm just paraphrasing, I don't care how hard it is, I don't care how bad it might look. I don't care how dead switching is, you never let them see you sweat. And that's how I feel. When I see people I'm looking at them like, damn, you know what I'm saying? When you gonna bust a shot? When you gonna throw a punch? When you gonna do something? Stop it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep your cool under pressure. You gotta think. When you're emotional, when you just all over the place, you can't think when you're angry. Before you know, you didn't say too much in the universe, and they got the cuffs, you know what I'm saying? Not somebody trying to get at you and all this, that, no. I'm not saying don't speak your mind, but be smart. You talk to people you can't even see that's sitting there watching you, scheming on you, won't lock you up, want to kill you, want to hurt you, want to destroy you as a person. Gotta think. Real. Thank you, Sunshine, for coming in. Peace and blessings. All love, all the time. It's beautiful like that. You know what I'm saying? It was a little sunny day, I believe. My man, Antoine R. Irvin in the building. What's up, Brother Major? In the room, for real. We have a real conversation about to take place. I'm letting people come in and what have you. Elder's supposed to be joining me. I saw him the email. He haven't got back with me, so the show must go on, right? All right, come on in, family. We look, we chill. I took a nap and everything. I'm like, I feel good, y'all. We can roll tonight. Deborah Hobbs, Shalom, Major family. Lord, we're going to be fine. Keep doing. You hashtag each one teach one. Be one. You already know. I didn't forget my hashtag. They still here. I haven't forgotten. Now don't get it twisted. Now I don't talk about them as much, but they still in the building. Let me see that. I got them all right. They all right there now. You know what I'm saying? All the hashtags right there. So definitely let's get it right. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it going on. The elder finally came in the building, right? So everything is working out. People coming to chat, getting enough time to come to chat. I'm loving that. You know what I'm saying? I'm loving that. You know, brother man say, B, what's up? Brother man, peace B1 first. Thank you so much. I'm stumbling y'all. Got me like slow down, MD. True Trooper in the building. Peace and blessings of family. Man, what True Trooper been? I ain't seen you since 1927. What's up? Coming through hot the kid. What's happening with you? Real talk. You know, for real. So look, y'all know the person I'm about to introduce is somebody that needs no introduction. He has been on the OC, the Gray Show. He has been on my channel quite a few times. We done met personally at my home. We talk a whole lot. You already know this brother is about the people. His message is always profound in thought. He's very how I'm gonna say, he has a way with words and the way how he conveys message that really touch the soul, you know. And when I told him I was doing a live, he was like, man, want you come on? I said, always. Whenever you want to come on here, a word for the people, do that. And without no further delay, Charara D. Elkadar, welcome to the family today, brother. Salute. Positive vibrations, greetings. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Perfect. How's everybody doing? Everybody's all right?
Everybody, from what I've seen from the vibrations in the chat, I mean, it's beautiful, man. I mean, the vibrations, everything beautiful. I'm good. How you doing, brother?
Love is lovely, man. War is ugly, you know? So I'm living in love, you know? And I'm doing good. All praises to the Most High. Positive energy, positive vibes. Living in the spirit, you know, not in the flesh. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I told you about today that I wanted to talk about something piggybacking from what I was talking yesterday. Whereas I was just like at a point I was talking to Jim J, but when he asked me, said, "Hey, Major, what the next topic gonna be about?" And it was like over the weekend. I said, "Man, I did." I said, "I'm so like bothered by we fall 5 steps back and we keep shooting ourselves in the foot, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Man, sometimes we want to tap out. You know, I be like, what it's all about, what the struggle all about, what the fight is all about, and so forth." So he said, "That's a topic," and I talked about yesterday, and you had already seen it and what have you. Well, I pick it back on. It just hit me. I had an epiphany, right? Driving, like, if we don't unite, right? It just hit me like, and I told you about. You like, man, I can come on. You say you want me to come? I said, come on and touch up on that, right? And I have some person I'm gonna talk from, but I definitely want you to chime in and just share, you know, in your own words and how you feel about if we don't unite, you know. But for me, I had kind of come up with some things, you know. I yellow flow.
Yeah. Seeing how we, you know, like I just want to give thanks and praise to the Most High. Acknowledge the spirit that governs all things, the energy, you know, the oneness of life. I want to acknowledge that in each and every one of us, whether you support the cause of freedom and liberation or not, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. The spirit is one body, one earth, one sky. You know, I want to just acknowledge that energy that brings things together. The same energy that tear things apart. It's the same energy that bring things together. The same energy that can bring you to your lowest self is the same energy that brings you to your highest and most divine self. So I just want to acknowledge that in each and every one of us that's listening to this broadcast at this time, you know, it is so important for us to be in communication with that, you know, and not be misled by anything. Now, if we don't unite, just like, you know, when I speak, you know, I want everybody to understand that I'm speaking from a place that only few venture to. Only few of us will make this journey to this place within themselves, being still in this world, but not of this world. So don't really try to figure out anything, is, you know, what we may be saying. We're going to try to say things as clear as possible so there could be no interpretation, you know, like what I mean, you know, what we mean, because what we mean is what we're saying. We are spirits. That does not negate the fact that we are manifest as flesh, sentient beings, flesh and blood, living beings. It doesn't negate from that fact. But what we are is consciousness, spirit consciousness. We have to understand that. So no matter what's done to the body, it cannot be done to the spirit. The spirit lives on while the body has a time limit on it. If we don't come together, you know, understand that it's like saying that black power exists without black love. It doesn't. If we don't come together, we have no power. And also we have no love. You know, we have no power. We have no love. When you go to the beach, the ocean, before you get to the water, you get to sand. But when we go to the beach, we don't see the sand. We see the beach. The sand are an unnumberable amount of grains of sand that come together to formulate the beach. That's us coming together. If we don't come together, there won't be a beach for us to lay on. There won't be anything for us to enjoy. If we don't come together, there's no black power. Therefore, there's no black love. It's a very simple formula. It's a very simple reality. I know everybody may have their own ideas about things, but if we can't breathe, what good is an idea? What good is an idea if we can't breathe? You know, the spirit is who we are. We are who we are. I pause for you, Major.
Look, I'm gonna get straight to it. We confuse individual success with collective success. Too many times we running behind that bag. We want to look cute. We want to build and forget the black community. Individual success have nothing to do with the black community. Kudos. It's beautiful that you're doing your thing. But we confuse individual success with collective success. Collective success is when me and this brother can sit down and implement an idea and plan to go in the community and do something and be fruitful in our production. That's collective success. Now, don't get it twisted. It starts with the individual first. So you have to build you. You have to become great. When that process, you gotta have it. Gotta work simultaneously. Individual success and collective success gotta work simultaneously. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take care of the you gotta take care of this, right? But your people is suffering. And too many times, I know, I've seen, especially due to COVID-19, we truly been exposed. There was so much money that when the atmosphere that black people refused to help their fellow brothers and sisters, no, they say, "Oh, I don't get you in trouble," but you doing something you've been doing, but you know, it's a bunch of BS. We really are freaking messed up in the head, and we justify our stupidity, our self-destructive ways, our division with ignorance. We're willfully seeing black people suffer. This government did you everything you can think about. They still kicking your ass. What's wrong with black people? Get a little of that. We vote for politicians all the time. Get caught in scandals. Get caught. They preach one thing to you, even in the church. They preach one thing to you, but they're doing something different. If you truly care about black people, like I've been saying this. They can't like all of us, they can't kill all of us. I said that first. For anybody said it, I was saying that when people was tripping about what was going on, especially with Jay. If we was to come together in one verse, then like all of us, he kill all they can. But my whole point, we confused and process how good we doing with the collective. It has nothing to do with the collective. Collective still suffering. That's why we not able to support each other like talking about it. Because the foundation's all regular and messed up. That's why when Jim J got in trouble, what happened to Bro's on, Bro spiking them, and how slow it is for them to recover and get back their life, is because we not on code and we not focused. Unity been a major problem because you know why? The enemy made this business. Divide us. Guess how he divide us? You color our skin, light, dark, right? By degrees, master, PhD, education. Mute his mic right quick. So by income, by communities, but all it started in slavery, right? The same things that you see going on now was going on back then. But our individual success means nothing if we can't get collective success. That's why celebrities and people that have money can easily be targeted, because they're not even worried about the community like that. So community don't even know how to get behind them, because when they get on, they ain't trying to put the community on. They're helping certain people, they're doing certain things, but nobody, they're not putting their life on the line talking what we talking. They're not talking about going to the community and do what they do. So when celebrities get caught up, they be treating an average citizen, right? Because they never really contribute like they should. They did something, they helped their homies out. They donated charity, and that charity wasn't for black people. They talking about really uprooting black people. You feel me? Jig all that money, that's great. Did some good things, prison reform, donated money, help people, what have you. But did he specifically anger the black community? And see, too many times when you're rubbing elbows with the elite and the corporate, you're trying to stay in the middle. You don't want to step on nobody's toe. You don't want to get on nobody's nerve. You don't want to make nobody mad when you're talking black. You feel me? Remember, in history, Every time people spoke about our people and about better our condition, they chopped them down. Some kind of way. Remember that. So don't think they don't know no better. They know better. They know what to say, how to say, what have you, and how to straddle a fence. But as a people, ain't no way the world shit went down like it went down with Bill Cosby. Right? And we know Bill did a whole lot. We know Bill was black. You feel me? You know, a lot of comedians criticized him for how he was, and because he was a clean comedian versus a lot of them that was talking negative. Like we talk about guys that rap negative versus guys that rap positive, right? They didn't like him for that, but we know he was black. You feel me? So we know he was targeted, right? We can't say that about a whole lot of other black people that got money. We can't say about Oprah. Oprah have never, and I've been around since a minute. I remember Oprah did the impossible. She was in Forsyth, Georgia, where they hadn't had blacks over there 30-something years. Sit down in white folks' home trying to see why black people can't live over there. And it still got like probably 1% that a black lady just got killed in the white family home out there 2 years ago. I mean, it's real life. She never really, the black community. You know why? They see, we got eyes, we see. Well, we go too far to the right and talking about the blacks, or we go too far talking about building communities. They know what's up, so it's hard. How can you get behind somebody really behind it? You're rooting for her because she got the money and she got the bag. She did what she did. We also know in history. Oprah refused to let anybody come out of China that talk black. Anybody that was talking that real talk, Oprah had got them condemned. That's why when Sinbad went on the Breakfast Club and Trump, they asked Sinbad, the comedian, about Oprah, and they were saying Oprah might go run against president against Trump. He said, nah, she got too many skulls in the closet. Too many skulls. She just said there's so many things people don't even know about. And I was a kid watching all the stupid shows she had, how she cared all the white folks. That's why she had so many white listeners and so forth swarm. And I just wanted to get that off my chest. I'm gonna get the floor to you. I got some more stuff to talk about. I don't want to just go.
Yeah, you're so right. You're so right about so much that you've said. These black images that they put in front of us, like the Bill Cosbys, the Oprah Winfreys, all of the athletes, all of the movie stars, the actors and actresses, all of these people are cultivated and given the opportunity to be placed in particular positions within the society. The problem only arises when any of these individuals begin to exercise any kind of independent thought or independent action. And that's especially if they're brown, copper tone, misnomered as black people. It only happens to these people. It doesn't happen to the other ethnicities, They try to fake like it do. Like, for instance, they try to make it seem like Asian people and Jewish people are in the same category as the copper tone people, the Pan American and the Pan African. This is the strategy that they've been using for many generations. It's a very calculated strategy, and it's very complex in its formations. This is why we have some of us that are copper tone people will fight against ourselves because we've been cultivated to do that. Some of us that are cultivated to do that are conscious that they're doing it. They actually embrace the idea of self-hatred. They embrace the idea of being anti-self, anti-black, anti-independent, anti-self-sufficient. And some of them are not aware that they are doing this because maybe they have a lack of knowledge or understanding of who they actually are, or a lack of understanding of what the truth really is. Because the truth really helps a lot when you begin to inject truth into the socialization of the people will become more of their genuine self. Because no one within their right mind, no people, no individual within their right mind will be anti themselves. It's not a natural behavior for you to be anti-self. But when you engage in anti-self behavior, over time, over generations, you become anti-self. So the situation that we find ourselves in is very, very intricate. There are so many facets to this maze that they have created. One of the reasons why you see the things happening that happens to us across the American society and around the world is because when the neighborhoods or the communities that we find ourselves in, we did not create those communities. We just populate those communities. So they just deal with the population of us. They're not dealing with the community of us, because the community of us is a real thing, is a conscious thing. It's a determined thing. It's a purposely active thing. It's an action. As you say, turn words to action. You know what I mean? That's the community. The communities we find ourselves in, we almost look at it like it's a petri dish. And we must look at ourselves also as organisms within the petri dish. It's a social experiment that's been going on for hundreds of years. This petri dish, quote unquote, environment that we find ourselves in holds specific elements in it that feeds and nourishes us. Now, whoever is injecting into the petri dish the nutrients, that's what we will feed on. Like one of the kings yesterday, I forget his name, that was on the Alpha Quebo show. He said, the dog that you feed will always be stronger than the dog that you starve. So we are feeding the very entity that is down pressing us, that is oppressing us. We are feeding them. We are giving them our energy. We are giving that entity our energy. And that's what they call white supremacy and racism. That's what we call, that's what that is called today. It's white supremacy. It's been called that, but that's the word that's going around today. So that entity, it puts poison into the environment, into the petri dish. We feed on the poison. The poison is killing us. The poison is turning us against ourselves. That entity will only give us enough nutrients to keep us alive. So let's flip that for a moment. If we're going to die, that entity puts nourishment in there to keep us alive. Back in the enslavement, when we were enslaved and prisoners of war, which we still are, but we're just not as, it's not a severe condition. They used to beat you, beat our foreparents within an inch of their lives, just an inch now, and then they stop whooping you. You get nursed back to health, and you continue being enslaved, but being enslaved. It's the same thing within the petri dish, within our societies today. They put guns, they put drugs, they put poverty, they redline. They do all these things. They work with the banks not to loan us money. They work with the banks not to loan us money so we can buy homes. We're veterans, but we don't get the treatment of a Caucasian veteran like the Caucasians do. So these things, there's so many things that's happening right now. It's amazing, but it's not a surprise, you know? So what we have to do, we have to get out of the petri dish. We have to create our own petri dish so that we determine what nutrients is in that petri dish. So we as organisms can be fed by the correct and right things like love and cooperation and peace and understanding. We feed on that. We need that as a people. The copper tone people, black people, we need that. We need love. We need truth. We love truth. We don't mind forgiving people because that's, you know, we do that. That's what we do. That's not a big, we don't like hatred. So somebody might do us something, but we're not going to hate them for what they've done to us. That's just our spirit. Don't, you know, people like, oh, that's unbelievable. If that was me, no. No, we don't do that. That's our nature. There's more important shit to do than to turn around and hate somebody because they did what they did to you. You got all this life to live. You got all this world to experience. You know what I'm saying? You got all this love to give and to receive. What did you look like turning around trying to hate people? And hate because, okay, I'm alive. We are alive. That counts for something. I'm proud that we are alive today as a people. Some other people may not want to see us alive, but that's their problem. That's not ours. You know what I'm saying? We are alive. We need to find solace in that. We need to find peace and harmony in that. We need to find self-determination in the fact that we are alive. And what that means that we are alive is that our foreparents was very strong people, very powerful people. You know, this is why I would like everybody to get the truth that we don't have to fight these. We don't have to fight anybody. We just have to love ourselves. Because why fight people, other people that don't like us, and from the history of them, the history says whether we do things by the book, whether we do things to the letter, whether we put our heart and our souls into everything and just do it right, walk the line, it doesn't matter. When it comes to the other people, which is a part of the human race, when it comes to those people, it doesn't matter because we're black, we're brown, we're copper tone. And this is the reason why they have a problem with us. You know, their issue is not rooted in wisdom. It's just rooted in just fear. A lot of them are afraid, not of us, afraid of themselves. Afraid of themselves. They're not afraid of us because they know they can just come and do evil and wickedness. We're talking about a set of people that believe in genocide, that believe in ethnic cleansing. What ethnic cleansing? Genocide? That sounds like a psychosis. Sound like these people have a problem, but it's not our problem. What we need to do now is, like you say, we got to unite. And if we don't unite, all we're saying is like, you know, I'd rather be a slave. If you don't want to unite, the only next place for you to go is to be a slave, because whether you know it or not, whether any of us know it or not, we are the original people of the earth. And we have done everything that we can possibly do to show our humanity. There's nothing else for us to do but to unite. And if we don't, basically you're going backwards in history, in human history. Unity is a must, right? Unity is a must, just like food, clothes, and shelter is essential. Unity is a must for us. There's nothing else for us to do. We've built nations for them. We've invented every known invention that could aid humanity. We've shared every known mineral that can help human civilization. We've helped invented some of the most complex inventions to aid human life. We've done everything. You know, I hear black brothers and sisters out there now marching on and going to visit places for voting rights. I feel so insulted about that. For voting rights. Does that make sense to you, Major? Voting rights, man? I mean, did not Emmett Till get destroyed? He went down there to sign people up to exercise their right to vote. Didn't Medgar Evers and these people was doing that? Wasn't Martin Luther King was doing that? Voting rights? Why are black people championing voting rights? What is wrong with these people? What rights? What voting rights? Don't everybody have the right to vote? I thought everybody had the right to vote. Do you know anything about that, Major?
I know very well. It comes back to if we don't unite. See, had we been united, that wouldn't even be an issue.
Yeah, we going back in time.
Yeah. Like it's like, and then the funny part, like you was talking earlier on the phone with the immigration thing, how Biden opened the door for all the immigrants to come over here, right? And that's all about voting, right? The knockers off our rocker were controlling where it go at, and they fight for voting rights. If Democrats get up vote in their favor, so that's a whole nother conversation. Of course, you know, we talked about it earlier there about the reality of the voting thing. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have our own organization, our own committee, our own Congress underground that represents, you know, every facet, whether economics, spirituality, community building, psychological part of our situation, you know what I'm saying? Etc. Some kind of political, somebody have some kind of political science. What from the Farrakhan's, the Grandmaster Jay to Umar Johnson, you know what I'm saying? Claude Anderson all have a real board underground.
You know, the United Nations passed this thing called, the acronym is called the UN DRIP. It stands for United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. Now you can take the word indigenous and it's synonymous with the word basically aboriginal, you know. You can use them interchangeably. However, aboriginal is more precise. You know, the aboriginal, the first, and the original. Indigenous is basically the offsprings of the aboriginal people will become indigenous people, but they're basically one and the same. Now, the United Nations during the Clinton administration put this forth, and it was like, I believe 144, 100 and something nations signed on to that and accepted it, you know. That started so that the people, let's say in America or of African descent, you know, could then claim their heritage. But what they don't tell us as brown and black copper tone people is that as well as there being a Pan-African, there is also a Pan-American. See, because we were, before the Pangea, I believe it's called, all of the landmass was one. And before all of the influx of the different ethnicities, it was basically the brown people populated the entire earth. But the thing is this, when Grandmaster Jay, NFAC, and the NFAC decided to stand up, everybody sees the guns, you know, and they see that. But they weren't really listening to what was being put forth. When he spoke of the World Court, and he spoke of the Kemetic Nation, and when he began to speak of the population, see, it's the real deal. See, because I'm familiar with all of that. And being familiar with all of that, I recognize who that was speaking. See, Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Patrice Lumumba, Shaka Zulu, Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, they're all us today. They're all of us today. It's not no one person. It's the entire population of us. See? What's going on is eradication. Eradication. With this pandemic business and this vax business and all of these business and how many people and variants and all this stuff, that's eradication. See, nature doesn't work like that. People, nature does not work like that. We need to stop being lazy. And whatever you hear this system, these governments say, you need to go and research it. Don't let your friends and your neighbors tell you nothing, because all they're doing is telling you the same impropaganda that they are spreading. It's not propaganda, because nothing proper about it. It's improper. See? But they say call it propaganda. See? So understand it's eradication, because they have a problem with what they call it human population. So they devise ways to eradicate. And they decide who is worthless, who's not worthy of living. Well, like, in their heads, it's the brown and black people, the copper tone people. You see, in 1 minute, the danger is affecting the other ethnicities. It wasn't touching us. I mean, after years of AIDS killing the hell out of black folks, syphilis experiments being done, Ebola knocking black folks off. Then here comes a pandemic, and it seemed wasn't touching no black people at all. We were good. But that was the illusion, the acceptance. See, because if it was, everybody done said, yo, they're killing black folks again. No, so they had to take some of their own out, because we're talking about an energy of sacrifice. They believe in sacrifice. War is one of their way of sacrifice. When I say sacrifice, I'm talking about blood sacrifice, human sacrifice. See, so they believe in that, but because we're no longer in those cavemen, barbaric age when you could just go out here and just be a real savage. You know, you can be a real Viking, you know, about stuff, you know, just plunder and just loot and just wreak chaos. They can't do that now. So now it's a different type of thing. And it amazes me how, you know, we have to look at this and understand that just like we are descendants, I like to use the word ascendants, you know, because the descend means to fall, to descend, to come down. I look at our ethnicity as a race of people as an ethnicity of people within the human race or in the human genome. We ascend, we rise. So if we don't unite, if we do not unite, we will be descending. And we don't need to descend, because a child does not grow down. A child grows up. And as you said earlier, Major, you know, said the children are watching us. The children are watching us. And so, like, you know, hey, what's going on? The children are watching us.
So
they're looking.
Right.
And they looking for what? They're looking to see something. They're looking for what? They're looking to see what we are doing. They don't want to know. Well, they hear what we talk, what we're saying, but they're looking to see what we're doing. Now, doing don't necessarily have to be something that is seen. That's one thing we really have to come to grips with, understand that. And we all need to just stop with the bullshit. All of us need to stop that. You know, these little arguments and these little things, little emotions and feelings that we have, we need to curb that, you know, park that. Because at the end of the day, it's irrelevant when our people are dying. People are dying in the street. Our people are dying at the hands of other ethnic groups. Our politics is lousy. We have some lousy politics. I'm telling you, it's a disgusting politics that black people, copper tone, brown ass people, be practicing some scandalous politics. The politics that I see brown and black people practicing today is a damn shame. Why are you a congressman, a congresswoman, and you ain't saying shit? Why are you there? Why are you a senator? Why are you a governor? Why are you a mayor? And nothing is changing. Why are you a chief of police? Why are you a police officer in the police force? And you're not standing up talking for your people. you know, I don't hear black police officers saying shit. The white officers are killing black people, and black police officers are like collecting a paycheck. Come on, man, get real. You mean to tell me that being a police officer is more important to you so you can get that paycheck? Find another damn craft. Change careers, because your ass ain't doing nothing. And that's just how I personally feel about it. You understand what I'm saying? Because look, we have come a long way. We are everywhere in this society. We do everything. We're still doing everything. We're mopping floors. We're serving people at restaurants. We're in hospitals as nurses and doctors, and we are in every aspect of this society. We are the best athletes. We are the ethnicity to beat at the Olympics. We excel all other ethnic groups in every way. And I'm not saying that to be arrogant or anything. I'm just saying it's just a fact. It's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? So, but why aren't these successful people, why aren't these prominent people, why aren't these influential people standing the hell up? You see, for me, it's like this. And I told you this a lot of times, Major. I said, listen, man, I'm not one of those guys come here to wake up nobody. Personally, the black and brown people that are asleep, they can stay the hell asleep. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because the ones that I'm looking at is the one that's here now, that's young, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds. And the children that will come from them, the 13, the 14, the 15, the 16, the 17, 18-year-old. I'm looking at them. The 19, the 20, the 21, I'm looking at them. But the other folks, that's so-called successful, influential, you know, got money and so on and so forth. I don't give two damn about them people. You know why? Because they're not doing anything. They're not saying anything. They're not making life better for any of us. They're enjoying their life. So, you know, some of them literally say they don't give a damn about black people, and they're black themselves. And I say to that person and those that embrace that type of mentality, kudos to you. Do your thing, because at the end of the day, you're still black.
Right.
And one day you're gonna find that out. So you can, whether it visits itself on you themselves or your children. I'm talking about these people that got these children, you know, and they're going out here and they're not saying nothing, and what they do say is something destructive towards black people. Do yourself, because I'm gonna tell you, what goes around comes around. And I'm gonna tell you, the law of life will always be the law of life. And every other law and every other thing they set up is secondary to that. Whatever you plant is what you're going to reap. You're going to harvest that. So, you know, we got to love ourselves, man. We got to love one another. That's what we got to do. And if we don't do that, and I said, those who understand that, let's get together. You know, that's my brothers, and those are my sisters, and those are my children. Let's get together. Let's give everything we have for liberation. Everything. Give our minds, our hearts, our emotions. Give everything, whatever it is we have. It doesn't matter. Whatever you can give it. You know, because we don't have to tell nobody. Let's just do it. You know, let's just do it. You know, let's just do it. Because if we don't unite, hey, I'm ascending, you know, I'm not descending. So I'm not a descendant, I'm an ascendant. You know what I'm saying? I come from brothers and sisters that are rising. I don't come from brothers and sisters that are descending, that's falling down, that's falling. No. I'm sorry. I say hi to you as you go down. I say bye to you as I go up. You know, but no. And I encourage all of us to just love one another. Just love each other. And know that we're spirit. Stop this flesh thing, Stop it.
Look, when you was talking about, when I was speaking earlier about our children watching, I also say our people watching. And the reason why I said that, right? They say, practice what you preach. But some people say, don't worry about the message, worry about the message.
That's right.
But that's true. You have to practice what you preach. See, when you go in that water, you gotta know how to swim. You'll drown, right? You go in that lake, you go in that pool. If it's too high, you can drown if you don't know how to swim. Well, that's how life is. Once you take that step out there and say, I'm for the people, you say black power, you say it's one God and God wants to be like this, but we like that, and we are actually speaking things into existence as far as calling things for what it is, right? Because we can look at history and see ebbs and flow, right? But for the most part, we know, just being America itself, how we are so divided, how it was by design. Even though they still baffle that we still a great people, we still intelligent, we still bright, we still great in every aspect, like the elder was speaking about. One thing they did accomplish, they kept us separated. And I said to say this here. See what we doing right now? They're the same stuff we saying today about we ain't gonna come together. Look back in the day, because they didn't come together back in the day. We ain't come together now. They talk, look what they did back then. They didn't do nothing. They said this, that, nothing. Look at Malcolm and King couldn't come together. Farrakhan and Justice couldn't come together. Marcus Garvey and Gary Du Bois can come together. Because he Washington can come together. On and on. You know what I'm saying? With all this, right? And it's sad that our kids gonna be saying the same thing about us, and we don't unite. Because you gotta realize, we want to justify us being Uncle Tom's sellouts. We want to justify us showing we don't care by pointing fingers, as opposed to looking at what we can do. See, because I've always been told, I'm not worrying about what the next man, don't worry about what I can do. You feel me? And that's why we was talking about earlier today, living an example, not just talking.
Yeah.
Walking in truth. If you know, like I tell somebody, right? I said, believe none what you hear, half what you see. Watch a person action. A person can tell you every day, I love you. I'm down, I got your back, bro. I got you. I really got you. But when you watch the action, when that person hold up around you, see you struggling, really going through it, can't really even pay your bills. It's not like on your own, because your own, you probably lost a job, got sick or whatever. But this person ain't doing nothing but blowing smoke up your ass. You can obviously see the person have your back. Well, same thing in our community. People can see when you just talking. People can see when you just putting on. I mean, my thing is this, and I'm so sincere when I say this. When you really care about people, you don't say you do it. It ain't always that I love you, brother. In words, I should show you my deeds and action. We don't do that. We get money like the rappers, and they go talk about the hood, call them dumb, ignorant, broke, you're mad, you're hating on me, and they wonder why they can't come to the neighborhood and they get robbed, shot, killed, whatever, because you already spoke a lot of bad things. You know what I'm saying? You already open your cast, you already put yourself in a position where you will be condemned. You know what I'm saying? That we won't accept you because why? We've been taught that crab in the bucket mentality, right? If I'm that crab that come out, I'm not about to go down there by y'all because y'all won't get y'all stuff together. That's the mindset we got, right? And don't get me wrong, I understand all of us can't be saved. Like I told you today. I'm just screaming the super chat right quick. Thank you so much for super chat. So join Light to Light Doom. Salute to our elder at child _ Wara D. Elkadar. Thank you so much for coming through, brother. Thank you for super chat. Too many times, man, it's like we don't be seeing that we doing things, people watching us. And if we don't have a track record of really showing we about the people, we just worrying about the individual success. Black people in 2021 still gloat and celebrate about having the money, buying a big house, having a nice car. We still acting like this stuff is just unreal.
Individualism.
Correct. And then the funny part about it, they would hate to see the next black man drive a nice car like he is.
Keeping up with the Joneses, man.
You know, it's the mentality. I'm telling y'all, when that money came out with this corona stuff, black people trolled their shoe colors. I mean, the cigarettes, we literally didn't want to help each other. We really didn't want to, you know. It's like, and I have to hear so many stories. I didn't met people personally I'm cool with. You know, I got me. I know I do my thing, but I'm looking at them. I'm like, ask them certain things. I can see clearly not telling me nothing. They beat around the bush with head. We as a people don't want to see the next man come up. I'm being real with you. I'm at the bottom. We don't see. I ain't see the bottom. I'm gonna see all the way to the top, from the bottom to leadership. I'm talking about to the very bottom in the hood. The leadership will be on. We don't want to see the next man come up, and we don't realize a mental disease come from slavery. That's something that been planted. I don't care how much you know. I don't care what you have. If you can't see the collective purpose matters more than the individual purpose, you messed up.
See, if the collective is successful, then that means every individual is automatically, by compulsory, becomes successful. But if the individual becomes successful, it doesn't necessarily mean that the collective is going to benefit. You see, this is the psychology that they use. So to get everybody on an individual trip, everybody is thinking as individuals rather than a collective body. Now, each individual in the household, including all the children that are not of age yet, represents a corporation. Each individual child and each individual in a family, if you got 5 people in the family, which includes the mother and the father, you have 5 corporations right there.
Facts.
Okay? Now, we have to begin to think different. Forget about changing the environment around us. That's not going to happen. Okay? That's not going to happen until we change the environment here. Till we change the environment here, this environment here is not going to change.
But listen, the only way it can work if we go in the community is see, the thing about this, our physical situation is more mental than anything. We know that, right? But people are not putting nothing in the community for the community to even change here and here.
Well, this is how it happens. This is how it happens. Where 2 or 3 are gathered, the Most High is in the midst. Who is the Most High? The Most High is that breath that you're breathing every day. Every day you take a breath into your nostrils, you're breathing in the Most High. And the Most High is who you are. It's who you are. Now, all it takes is 2 or 3 being gathered together. We lead by example. So if those 2 or 3 people, let's say if you got 3 people, each of them represent a family. A family have to have a mother and a father. So you have 2, 4, 6 minimum. Then you have whatever amount of children. Okay? And that means, let's say if this family here has 5 children, this have 4 children, this have 7 children. 7 and 5 is 12. And 4 is 16. That's 16 people right there. Now, we lead by example. See? Because they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. right? One picture. So now they have a thing in the little kindergarten and the little first grade they call show and tell. See? So that means if we can show this community, then the community gonna tell it. You know what I'm saying? It's very simple. It's like little children shit. You know what I'm saying? Little children, you know. Hey, look how the children are. Look how children behave. Look how children communicate. They communicate very simply. You know, it don't take much to satisfy a child. You know, they want an ice pop, they're cool. They're gonna want a lollipop, they're cool. They want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, they fine. They want some juice, they're good. Their life is very simple. So what has to happen is we have to break it down to its most simplest component. Those who are ready can put action. Those who are willing to get ready can get ready. Those who ain't doing nothing, we can't consider those people. Those people will wake up when they see the action. But it's the more action, you know, the more action you display, the more action. See, that's why they had to see Grandmaster Jay did not get in trouble. Trouble got him, but he didn't get in trouble because he wasn't doing shit. You understand? So, because trouble gonna come to you whether you want it or not. As long as you're doing what's right, as long as you're living righteously and you teaching and you preaching righteousness and you're teaching and you're preaching truth. The biggest example of that, according to the world today, is Christ Jesus, Yeshua. He wouldn't fight nobody. He was just teaching people the truth. He was healing them. The blind could see, the lame could walk. He even went as far as taking a dead man and bringing him back to life. That's how powerful that brother was. He was doing things. He wasn't hurting nobody. He wasn't tearing down shit. But those
he went to temple and told some stuff up. Like, let me make him more humble.
You know what I'm talking. You know what I'm saying? He's not no lamb.
He's a revolutionary now. He's a revolutionary now.
Oh yeah, he was a revolutionary. But what he was a revolutionary with, he was teaching the truth.
Yeah,
and he was fulfilling the law. That's why when he saw them doing things that were unlawful, he would bring to their attention and say, "Hey, who is without sin cast the first stone?" Everybody dropped their stone and walked the hell off. When he saw the animal trapped in the ditch, and it was a Sabbath thing, he took the animal out, and they can, hey, that's blasphemy. You know, you're not supposed to. He says the Sabbath was made for man and not man for the Sabbath. He was setting the record straight.
And so what you say about the taxes? Remember the taxes? What you talking about the taxes the other day? About the taxes?
What he talking about the taxes says, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar.
I'm saying what you had said about when the Pharisees was making paying their taxes, and that lady gave that
penny.
Yeah. Tell them that story too.
Gave that 1 penny, and he said that 1 penny has more value and means more in the sight of God than all the hundreds of dollars the other people was giving.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is that's what I'm saying. Where 2 or 3 are gathered, the Most High is in the midst. We don't really need a lot of people. We're not here to save people. We're here to gather people that have already saved themselves. And if others who have not done so yet should see that, they will automatically, through osmosis, begin to change themselves. And this is why they put Grandmaster Jay in the position that he was in, because they knew that what he was saying and how he was being, the type of man he was living, they knew that shit would catch on. It's like a virus. You understand what I'm saying? If you do good, good gonna come to you. It's good gonna spread. If you plant good seed, because the earth doesn't care if you plant poisonous seeds, or if you plant seeds that give nourishment. The earth don't care about that. The earth is going to take whatever you give it, and it's going to send it back to you. But they know they don't want good seeds. They don't want good things. You see.
Let me get this in right quick. we have to remember we are misrepresented and underrepresented. And I'm not talking about just by politicians. Because see, we keep referring to politicians, but we have leaders in our community that have been around for years. See, we keep talking about politicians. They really not leaders. They are representatives of neighborhoods, right? And communities and states, but they're not our leaders. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be the verse of people going for government, right? To see what they can get passed. But they're not the leaders. The leaders are the people that we look at in the churches and the mosques, you know what I'm saying? Different organizations and what have you, right? That's who our true leaders are.
Yeah.
And when I say we underrepresented and misrepresented, because a lot of time they're not really listening to what the people are saying, and they're not observing the conditions for change. Because before we expect anybody to help us, we gotta help ourselves first. And I think that's so important that we understand this. See, the reason why the Jewish community, Asian community, other communities are able to prosper because they got their stuff together. They have a system that works for them. They know who the enemy are. They know what situation they're in. They know how to move. And when I say the enemy, I'm just using that loosely. Because anybody can be the enemy to them because they're considered probably foreign to other people. But what I'm trying to say is the mindset. We could watch and see what the Asians did or what Japan did with technology and what China did with manufacturing technology against Britain and the United States. We can watch what the Jews have did with Hollywood and Banksman. We can watch how they raise their own walls, right? Without ever getting physical. And then be able to manipulate higher governments and what have you. And see, my issue is a lot of times we get so hyped when people are talking and really saying some good stuff we talk about, you know. But never hit home what needs to be done. No real solutions. And when they're giving solutions general, we have to be as specific as possible. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a small platform. I probably get like 6,000 views a month, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not nearby as diverse, as stretched across the board, but I know I'm making a difference. But I'm saying this here. With just me and this brother congregating and coming together and like mind, like spirits, trying to make a move, because we are going to Louisville too this weekend. If y'all know, we're leaving out tomorrow. Me and Child Rara, we going out tomorrow. So I will announce that in our thing. But we going to Louisville together tomorrow. But to get to my point is, our leadership, and I'm not talking about politicians. We know what politicians are basically dressed up, groomed up.
You're talking about the mom and pops.
Correct. So that's why I say leadership is in the mirror. So anybody can become a leader, you know what I'm saying, if they have a good heart. But if you don't have a good heart, you can't become a leader. And a lot of times, I'm going to tell you something, and I've been wanting to come in and say that. Why leadership failed? And I'm going to give it to y'all simple. Capitalism. When they realize that it's a, you got to realize money can bring you a lot of things. It can't bring you some happiness. You're not going to lie, but ultimately, you know what I'm saying? It's not the end game. It can't really bring you true happiness and love, right? But in my mind, I see that we are really, I'm telling my wife, I be on YouTube, I think I see how guys run behind the money. I can see organizations that have been around for years about the money. You feel me? And I'm saying they may be doing things, don't get me wrong. But trust me, when we talk about Jesus, right? And we talk about the stories that happened and what he was demonstrating, right? He was showing how people was just doing things just to be seen. And then he was demonstrating people that really was coming from their heart, giving their last. Really putting boots on the ground, really trying to make a difference. And he gave them praise, right? And that's what we're dealing with right now. We got people that can do way more than what they're doing. Way more. But guess what? They hit that ceiling. They got safe. Because they see, because I'm telling you, they ain't went as far as Malcolm the King went. They didn't went as far as Marcus Garvey went. They didn't went that all the way far. That's why when Jay came out, Jay made everything uncomfortable. Because he had guns in his hand. And he said, we can price an hour, Second Amendment. We are legal. Y'all said, well, you're a citizen, and what's we going to do? And then he went to calling this country on the BS, and plus black people separate the BS, right? It was so powerful. But getting back to capitalism, let me just get the in right where you have it, brother. Capitalism determines who lives or dies. Capitalism make you make decisions when you're not spiritually grounded and strong. You make decisions you know what to make. So many times we step on people to get ahead, and we don't realize the capitalism. So many times we put money, we put everything in front of life. There is no true love in the black community, but among few, and it's very little. You can't even see it because it's overshadowed by greed. It's overshadowed by power. It's overshadowed by egotism. I got more. We in our community brag, want to show off about the stuff we have, knowing sister and brother community is suffering. Never even thinking about it. Put together a program for the kids. Let me open some stores and some businesses. Let me even create something, manufacture and create some jobs for black people. Right? We want to get them in the church. We want to preach to them. We'll give them all kind of, because you talking about when everybody in 3-2 or whatever get the money. That only works when your heart is pure. Because you know what Paul said was good, evil is present. When you go congregate, when you ain't right, when things ain't right, it's on the head, right? It's on the head. Head ain't right, everything else messed up. You come together, see when you ain't right, it ain't going the way nowhere in the world. We had the black church and the black community, the community suffering like that. They drive off and go to their nice home, their nice vehicle, while people go back into the slums, they go back to the struggling. Never addressing the racial, social, political, economic, and global ills they face as a people. Never really addressing the powers that be, because everything is interrelated. The Baptist convention, all that, that's white folks and the organization, and the names or whatever, right? And we just have to understand, I mean, it's sad that we associate with everything with a name that's not originally from Africa. Everything been liquidated and watered down. And we call ourselves names opposed to the reality of it.
You know, there's a lot of scriptures talk about breaking up your folly grounds, you know. There's a lot of fetters that binds us, holds us, you know. Although we appear to be free and unfettered, we're bound. See, our ethnic groups spend more money annually than any other ethnic group in the United States of America. When they realize the type of people we were, in terms of we love quality stuff. We're talking about capitalism, right?
Right.
In the 1950s, 1930s, going into 1950s, they began to realize that there was a market that was untapped. So in order for this market to be used, you had to open up the society to them. So that, in other words, you'd have to give them your God. Their God is money. They worship money. They use the things that money can buy as status. You know, so, you know, what kind of, you got a Lamborghini, you know, you got a Rolls Royce, Mercedes, you know, this is your status now. So the money. They knew that our people came from royalty. When you're royal, you live royal, you know what I mean?
Right.
So our people like the best, you know, we like the genuine leather, we like genuine stuff, you know, so we'll spend that money, even though we may not be maybe poor in the society or middle class or whatever, We're striving to give our children the best. We want to live the best. We want to live in the best neighborhood. We want the best house. You know what I mean? And you need money to do all that, because the system, the petri dish, this petri dish that we find ourselves in, it thrives on money. So once they tapped into that, to Jet, Ebony, and the rest of them, Essence Magazine, they come in, they start infiltrating the black households with their marketing ploys and stuff like that. And they come in and they create this consumer population, this population of people who are just hell bent on consuming shit, buying. That's what we became. We became their money bag. How they would just turn over the money. Because remember, Black Wall Street and Oscarville and so many other towns that we had built in this country were thriving. They weren't just black towns. They were thriving black towns. You know what I'm saying? These brothers and sisters, these families was doing it, Jack. So when we talk about the Jewish community and the other communities, you know, for this brother right here is, you know, they don't impress me because they do what they do. The reason why they don't impress me is because they're allowed to do the shit. And a lot of people may say, oh, you know, black people, you know, you got to get up and then you want something, you got to do it. Yeah, right. We've done that. Okay. And we keep doing that. And we've been doing it. And every time we've done it, they come and they burn the shit down. They come and they sink it under and create artificial lakes, man-made lakes, while our town is underneath the damn lake, Lake Lanier, for example. And there's a few others. So we have done all of that. That's why I say we've done everything except for uniting. They're afraid of that because they know that when we unite, we're going back to what we know, which is self-love.
The time is now.
Oh yeah, the time is right now. No, the time. Look,
we
should have been did that.
I'm saying, but they've been exposed. See, black people see more now than they ever seen in between last year when NFAC came and seen them now. They the first time they ever openly admitted, you know what I'm saying? Companies and businesses, everything, how racist they have been, what they have done us and what have you. They're trying to do damage control, right? We let it slip away. That's why I say if we don't unite, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you see, what happened also is during the Obama era, Obama controlled this country. Oh, right, he didn't control shit. He just sat in that White House for 8 years. For 8 years, right? What did that do to the psyche of the black mind? It got black people thinking,
Drop our guards?
Yeah, it got black people thinking that we've achieved something. We did. Oh, this guy, that's our guy. He's gonna do for us. Well, Obama really didn't do shit. He did for everybody else, just like Biden is doing now.
Immigrants, LGBTQ community.
He did for everybody else, just like Biden is doing right now. Now, okay, but what happened to the country as a whole, black and white? It gave black people a sense of belonging, okay, inclusion. It made black people feel like we have achieved what they said we couldn't do. We became the president of the White House. Now, Obama would have been badass if he just painted that shit black, and we'd have known he was cool. You know, if he'd have put some black paint on that shit or some brown paint, and just say, okay, I don't like this color. I want to paint it black. Let the next guy after me paint it white. You know what I'm saying? So, but what happened was this. It gave black people this false sense of we've made it, you know? Then for 8 years, white people was feeling so crushed. I'm crushed. I'm talking about crushed. They was feeling crushed. But the white people, Democrats, wasn't feeling crushed. The majority of them wasn't feeling crushed because he was giving them what they wanted. Now Obama goes out, but they couldn't back it up with a white Democrat. Trump slipped in there by accident. What did that do? That although black people in this country were traditionally Republican in their political nature, but they had been transformed into Democrats during the civil rights movement, white people and a lot of black people put Trump in because they didn't see shit happen with Obama. A lot of black people that voted for Trump realized that Obama didn't do shit. And so they said, we're going to go with Trump. And the reason why they went with Trump is because Trump was not just a political person. He was not even a political person at all. He was basically a businessman. He was a corporate man. So he knew about business. So they figured, hey, you know, go with Trump. Now, when they went with Trump, what that did now, see, it brought all of the white supremacists out of the closet. Not that they were not out of the closet before, because they was killing black folks during Obama era. You know what I'm saying? They was killing black people. Police wasn't letting up. It's just that they started doing it more.
They killed more in Obama era than any other era.
Yeah, but then they came out of the closet. I mean, really came out when Trump got in office. When I say really came out, they started opening their mouth, you know, and then that made Trump look like he was a racist. Well, you know, the racist is Democrats and Republicans. For those who don't realize that Republicans are racist and Democrats are racist, you know, and they all practice white supremacy. Okay, so it's not like white supremacy is dominated by the Republican. No, it's dominated by the Republican and the Democrat. They share that title, that crown.
Which slave master you chose to, you know, want to represent you?
Yeah, well, I don't choose none of them personally, but I'm saying
I'm talking about narrative out there, like, you know what I'm saying? They both
the history will tell you that the Democrats were the worst. The history will show you that. If you study the history of the and the reason why the Republican Party came into existence.
I'm very familiar with that. Very.
Okay, good. So we understand.
It wasn't racist. Don't mean it wasn't racist though.
No, it don't mean that wasn't racist. No, I'm not saying that. That's why I say white supremacy and racism were both Democrats and Republican. They shared that. For instance, when before Emancipation Proclamation, North and the South were both practicing slavery. The North was funding the South, and the South was giving the North what they wanted, which was money. They was making that money on that plantation. So
but they fell out.
You
know why they fell out, right? They fell out because the North got mad because they couldn't make no money on slaves because the crops and everything wasn't harvested because of bad weather. It was a fallout. Why the North went at the South. They wasn't making no money. The South was
that too, but also because of evolution. Because people, we have to understand, you know, everything evolves. You know, everything
industrial age,
is a process of evolution. So we went from the agrarian into the industrial age.
Right.
And the North was already working on the steel corporation, cars and shit like that. And they needed that free labor that was on the plantation. And they also needed to transfer the wealth of the South to the North. Because they were the one that funded the plantation. They were feeding them white plantation owners down in the South. They were feeding them money. You know what I'm saying? So, but the whole point of the matter is, what I'm saying is, we have to understand that when Trump got into office, he ignited something. Not that he did that consciously in his own mind. Because I know Donald Trump, because I used to drive out of New York. I used to go into Atlantic City from New York. I was driving a Greyhound bus. And I used to take people into the Trump casinos and shit like that. And I met Donald Trump back in the days when he was just a tycoon. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And he wasn't a bad dude. He was just doing what he do. He loved money, make money, and he do what he do. He's white. He's white. He's a white man. He do what white men do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like he gonna let black folks all up in his shit. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But he's the guy to understand what's going on in the communities, you know, and what's going on in the world. And he's a businessman. Okay, so when he got into presidency, a lot of these white people figured that's our guy. So they start saying we're Trump supporters, and those guys that were saying that were really straight up redneck. And Trump do have a connection to the Ku Klux Klan and all of that. So that made it real easy for the Democratic media to actually paint him as a direct white supremacist. You just paint him straight up like that. You know what I'm saying? That was an easy thing to do. So they went with that narrative, and they kept that narrative going and kept that narrative going and kept it going. You know, no matter what he was doing, they kept that narrative going. I'm not for neither one of them. I don't mess with that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at them, and I'm looking at them. I've been here for quite some time, and I see how the political structure goes, and I'm looking at them, I'm seeing this. Now, once they got Trump out of there, who comes back in? Biden. But Biden is like Obama being reelected for another term. You see what I'm saying? What the first thing he do? Stop the building of the wall. Everything that Trump did, you know, he overturned it. Just like Trump went in and he said, okay, I'm gonna stop all this shit that Obama did. But you see, if Obama was a white man, nobody would have made a big deal out of it. The black people wouldn't have made a big deal out of it. See, white, you have to understand how these Caucasians think, and not all of them. There's a particular sect of Caucasian, because it's handed down. You know what I'm saying? We ever wonder how come the Caucasian has such a problem in accepting his own history? It's because his history has been told to him by his parents before him. They told him a lie. And the little white children believe this lie. That's why critical race theory becomes such a touchy situation. You know what I'm saying?
Let me give special thanks to TNT with Mike and Jazz for the super chat. They said this is so powerful. You can finish.
So when this went down, and they're putting forth the narratives that you see them putting forth, these narratives are meant to control the black mind. They don't care about no other race of people. This whole earth is about black people, copper tone, brown people, misnomered as black people. Why do they misnomer us as black people? And we as black people, we know what we're talking about when we say black. You know what I'm saying? We're not saying nothing derogatory. We know that. We're just identifying that it's because of our brown copper tone complexion why they treat us like they do. We owned this entire planet, and we still do, and they know it. What they want to avoid us from doing is finding out who we are and claiming it. Let me tell you, let me give you a scenario. Suppose you, Major, had a great grandfather that left you an enormous amount of daggone money and land. You can't even count it. It's so much. It's vast. It's not a kingdom, it's an empire. Right? But because of what happened in the history, you now believe that you're a slave, or that you don't have shit, that you poor. You poor. But one day you come upon some intel, call it that says, hey, Major, your great granddaddy was so and so and so and so, and he left you so and so. What are you talking about, you poor? And you're like, what? And then you start doing some research, you start investigating, and you find out that that's true. Then you start saying, wait, well, what happened to it? Just like that brother on the Apoquabo show was talking about when that king came in and started talking about the experience with the guy that they put in charge, and he promised them, he got the kings of the village to sign on the shit because he promised them certain things. And then when he go back to the Queen of England or whoever they are, he can't deliver nothing because they don't want these kings to get anything. So after certain generations go by and he found out that this guy's not delivering, he said, we want our shit back. So see, when you found out that you were not poor and that you possess all of these kingdoms, not kingdoms, empires. You said to those who held it, held your empire as a hostage, just like I held you as a hostage. And you say, hey, listen, I understand that my great granddaddy left these things, and I need my shit. I'm gonna put a declaration together that declares, hear ye, I Major, I'm the proud descendant of King so and so and so and so, who controlled all the empire of so and so. I stake claim to it. In the State Department, that's called a UCC-1 financial statement. That's when you're claiming your shit. You're claiming possession of yourself, of your body, through their system.
Right.
You see, so this is where we are. When we talk about if we don't unite, we can't just unite just for the sake of unity. We have to unite with a purpose. So when Grandmaster Jay said, I have filed documents. Now the next thing we have to do is prove the population. A lot of people did not understand that's what they're talking all this bullshit. Oh, he's an agent. He's this and he's that. No agent does that. I'm gonna tell anybody this. No agent does that. No. An agent doesn't do that. You know, an agent don't do that. Okay.
Let me step in for a second. I do have the website. The person that's affiliated with Jay with the lawsuit that filed, it's called, I think, Pendo for Life. Excuse me, pendoforfreedom.org. I just had typed in. I typed in the chat. I'm about to put up on the screen. This organization that Jay has been affiliated with, and they filing in the UN about the human rights violations and what have you. I know I put it in here, so I'm kind of like echoing what you were saying and what have you. And go right here. I found it right here. This right here. This is the website right here. That's Elaine's organization, pendoforfreedom.org. Is the person with Jim that filed and declares Afro descendants that you heard of Cody talking about and what have you.
You have to do that.
Yeah, well, she's doing it
because Obama said black has no standing in law. So we know what we talking about when we say black. But when we go in front of them to deal with what we need to deal with, to do what we got to refer to ourselves as copper tone people, bro. We got to refer to ourselves as brown, copper tone people. And then we have to go back again and refer and understand that within that fullness, the term that was used in the ancient of days was the word Moor or Mu. There's many different spellings for it, but it doesn't mean that you belong to it. That describes a people, a specific people. And we were all over the planet. We was in Africa and we was in the Americas. Matter of fact, we loaned this government, this bankrupt government, I forget how much it was, something like 25,000 or 250,000 worth of gold in weight, you know, and it's still on the books. They have not paid us back that yet. That's not nothing to do with reparation.
Right.
And that has to do with treaties that were drawn up. So they try to say, well, you know, Morocco this and Morocco that. They're just trying to confuse the people.
But right now, she identified as Afro descendants. That's the name she's putting everybody under. You know, you be talking about copper tone and what have you, and talking about loving and stuff.
But when you say Afro descendants, okay, you really, because Afro is a hairstyle. So that's number one. We know that Afro is a hairstyle. There's no doubt about that. Unless you can show me that Afro is not a hairstyle. The first time I ever heard about an Afro, it was a hairstyle. That's number one. Number two.
But I think you're being a bit too critical. Because Afro have more than one meaning.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do some research on it.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. It's like you talking about Moors. Well, I showed you something about the Moors thing. When I showed you that, like you told me about Moors, I showed you something different about it, right? So it had different meaning. So I just want to get you to understand that. See, we have to understand this. White people named everything. It's nothing coming out of my mouth that originated from white people, not Asian, Arab, white people. They named everything. Every race been named by white people. Every country, all this is white people. When you look at anything right now, it's named by white people. It's not an original name at all. And see, we have to understand it. And too many times, we be arguing about names and what have you. But these white folks originate on. If you can't go back to the ancient name and really call that name as is.
Well, that's what I'm saying to you. That's what I'm saying to you now. When you talk about ancient, like I said, I'm gonna do some research on the Afro thing, okay? But when you go back ancient, I don't see any reference to our people, the copper tone brown people, as Afro.
There's nothing. There's nothing.
I'm not arguing it. I'm not arguing it. I'm just saying I've never heard of it. The only thing I know about Afro is a hairstyle that was synonymous with our type of people.
I'm trying to say like copper tone. That's not ancient. When you say copper tone, that's not ancient. You guys show me receipts.
It's an ancient description. It's an ancient description.
In Africa?
No. It's an ancient description, not only in Africa, but in America. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm talking about we're going ancient. We ain't dealing with Africa. We're talking about let's go back into the motherland. See, I have a problem with people associating everything outside Africa. I really have a problem with that personally.
Why?
Why? Because they keep saying they talk about Zion and Israel. What about Africa? I mean, I hear people saying that, right? I'm just saying I feel like people tend to take everything out Africa and they put it other places. And that's all I'm just saying. I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just
I'm putting in perspective.
You know what I mean? We'll talk behind the scenes. We'll talk behind the scenes. Let's keep the content rolling.
Yeah, but it's very important for us to understand that Africa is not ancient. It's not an ancient term or name. We got to understand that. We got to understand that.
What you mean it's not ancient?
Africa is not ancient. It's not an ancient term. The continent was never called Africa until the Afrikaners went there and they discovered it, just like South Africa that we know now was never called that. It was called, it was named by Cecil Rhodes.
I understand that part. I'm not talking about. I was talking about Africa. I'm not talking about the names. I already told you they were named by Europeans. We agree to that.
That's what I'm saying. So when we say Africa, it's okay. I mean, I accept the term because I know. But there's a lot of people that think that that's the actual term. That's it. That they think that shit is ancient. Africa, the name Africa is not ancient. Kemet is more ancient than that. Ethiopia is more ancient than that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
Some people, when you bring that to them, they're so inundated with the term Africa that they can't see Ethiopia. They can't see Kemet. They can't see that. But it's okay because it takes, one has to look deeper into what one is dealing with and also be willing to make the necessary changes as one is fed the information that is correct. We have to be able to extract the information that is incorrect. You know what I mean? Because there's information that's incorrect. Because when we refer to ourselves as black people, we're not black people. But it's okay because I understand and we today understand. But those of us who are higher in the knowledge of who they are, they take that word and they strike it completely. Don't call me black. I'm not black. And they have a reason for it, and the reason is sound. But the people who call themselves black have no foundation for it other than the fact that they're black. They're black. There's no foundation for it. You cannot go back and refer to our people and find it in ancient history. We're not black. We'll never be call ourselves black. But the Europeans, though, you go into European history, they will call us black, the land of the blacks and all the kind of business. They're the one that did all of that. Did the Portuguese and the Spaniards, But But as we proceed forward within the unity has to encompass an understanding of balance, understanding of balance. We have to be able to balance the truth, huh? The truth has to be
Let me
what
say this,
we.
but it's it's our job to tell them, though. It's our job to inform them. So I want to let you know that everything you said is our job to tell them. You know what I'm saying? It's healthy dialogue and what have you. It's our job to tell them between the what's original African, what's not. As far as the names and what have you. It's our job. So that's what I was doing, engaging with you.
But when Grandmaster Jay began to speak and to break down the destruction of black civilization, you see, when he pulled that out, they said, "Oh no, they couldn't look," because when you get into that, then you start getting into really what happened and how it went down. You know what I'm saying? And that becomes a very that's like you pulling the truth out when they don't want the truth to come out. The truth is it's not a good thing to those who are living in falsehood. For those who are living in falsehood, the truth is terrible. I was looking at this information about one of my grandchildren have a little spot on her shoulder, and it's like they call it a Mongolian spot. And when you research and investigate it, the only people that shows up on really is darker skinned people, brown and copper tone people. So that's almost like a mark of nature that tells you who you are. Even the Mongolian Genghis Khan, he's a part of our people. And there was another brother over here in the Americas that was a relative to Genghis Khan, and there was two brothers that fought against each other. This is some deep. I mean, when you actually go back into who you are, because if we cannot clear our minds and come to who we are and not see what they've had us doing since the Emancipation Proclamation, since the slavery, the enslavement of our people here in America, and then the bringing of those ones that they say they brought over, which is about 10% of the people here came from Africa as slaves. The rest of them migrated as immigrants that came into this area on their own power. They weren't slaves when they came here. They were free men. The majority of the enslaved people came from America. It was the Americans that was enslaved. When you understand how this thing went down and we realize who we really are, and if we as a people cannot unite based on who we are, then guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna make up shit like who we are. For real. And that's what a lot of us do, and that's why we argue so much, because we were everywhere on the earth. So it doesn't matter if you were from the Caribbean, or if you're from the mainland in America, or you're from South and Central America, or you're from the continent of Africa, or you from Italy, or you're from Germany. They were all black people. They were all brown, copper tone people with afro hair, kinky hair. You know what I'm saying? We were all the same people. And so it doesn't matter any longer, but as long as we can all, like it said, like Grandmaster Jay said, and a lot of other people say, just be black. See, that's the code word. That's what it means. Just understand that we're the same people. Whether you from the east coast of Africa, the west coast of Africa, Constantinople, South Africa, the Congos of Africa, or you from California, or you from New York, or you from Texas, or you from Oklahoma, or Mississippi, or Alabama, you're still black. You're still copper tone. You're still brown. We're one people. You see?
But I want to let this be known. This is not a. It's not a. This channel is not like about going in history real deep. It's just about.
No.
It just. I mean, it just so happened. It went there, right? Because I see everybody in the chat. They got their views and what they understand and what have you. None of us are historians. We just readers, researchers, what have you. We know what have you.
I'd be pulling out books and shit and sources if that was the case. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to express to you what I understand.
I was really talking to the chat.
You know, I'd be interested in knowing
we talk.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know what some of the commentaries are in terms of maybe they want to ask a question or, you know, inquire on something. I don't know. You know, one of the things
I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna let you say something. Then we'll go in the check. I want to say something.
One other thing I'd like people to.
I definitely want to.
Go ahead. One of the things I really would like.
I'm let you talk.
One of the things I really like to be understood is this. I am more into the spirit of myself. Because that's the part of me that never dies. That's the part of me that shows me the way. My body doesn't show me anything. My body doesn't even know I'm in it. The power that is in me is greater than the power of myself in the world. So there's certain things I wouldn't talk about over the air because it has to do with spiritual things. And I know that the black people are very powerful spiritually. I don't like to, you know, put certain things concerning the spirit out on a platform, you know, because this is something that we have to discuss as a people in private. Because when you start putting the spirit together, trust me. When you start putting the spirit together, bro, look, the history of our people tells you, you think it was our bodies that made it through? No, it was our spirit. We stole away at night, went into the forest, into the bush, into the wood, under the stars and the moon, and we communicated with specific energy. We have power beyond our own imagination. You know, these things is not written. These things you know when you go. You know what I'm saying? Our ancestors weren't stupid. Our foreparents knew what they were doing. Certain things was hidden inside of the DNA and the chromosome. That's why they're attacking us now through pandemics. Why do you think that this COVID-19 attacks your respiratory system? Your ability to breathe. It's attacking you, not your body. That COVID-19 don't give a damn about your body. It's coming for your spirit, your energy. So you got to know how to master your energy. You got to know what weapons you have and how to activate those weapons and what type of devastation they can cause. We come from a line of people that was supermen and women. Our children are super children. They can do things that the world will marvel at. Even Christ said, those that come after me will do greater things. He said, marvel not at the things that I do, because there will be those that will come after me that will do even greater things. We have a power that we cannot even describe. But there are many of us that are called, or few are chosen, you know. And those of you that are listening to my voice, you all understand what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all have seen things happen in your life that you wonder, wow, what the hell was that? You know, I thought this was going to happen. Ooh, wow. I feel, you know something? I knew this was going to happen. I had a gut feeling, you know. I had a gut feeling this was going to happen. You know, my first mind told me, wow, I'm so glad I listened to my first mind. Because if I had not listened, that would have been me right there. That would have been the end of me right there. But you see, we have to understand what that is and how do we access that and how do we make that a part of our actual existence, our liberty. Live the spirit, be in the body, but living in the spirit, you know, and things. So that's something that, you know, we don't talk that kind of stuff over the air, you know, because we don't want Judases, number one. We don't want Judases involved, and we don't want the aliens to be involved either. Alien ethnicities, you know. I don't claim anything. I don't claim anything now. You know what I'm saying? But I know what I know. I know what I know.
We have some that's pushing for. Some pushing for the people, right? That's in the UN. That's viable. It's very specific how we can achieve it. And I put the link up on Pindo for freedom.org. Lena Porter. That's what Jim Jalen was doing. And right now, you're going to website to get find out everything about it. You can sign up. You can vote for citizenship and what have you. Excuse me. Within that, you know, sovereign nation, what have you. You know, man, we in the United States, we can go get our own land. We can build, we can create jobs and everything. There is something out there. And the sovereign name, what's this going to self-determination and for descendants, it's out there. Organizations that know about it, there's some that don't. They really, the word is really getting out. And I suggest every black person, every black organization get under that because it gives you power, you know what I'm saying, to take back the land that was taken from you. You know what I'm saying? So we know we're written the people, we know we're here first. Everybody wasn't brought on slave ships and what have you. So
you better believe it.
You know, so I just want to share that with you on an note. You know
I'm definitely gonna look into it because I've never heard that before. So, you know, I'm always interested in that kind of thing because I studied that type of thing for a while.
Yeah. Well, let me talk to the chat. I'm seeing a lot of stuff in the chat. Let me say something. My mom was Jehovah's Witness. My dad was in Islam. I grew up in divided, and my 18 was a Baptist, so I was divided, right? And I called back 17, went to the big house. I refused to. I mean, I watched guys, man, like get into religions and all what they was doing, Islam, Muslim, all this stuff here, right? I just believe in the Most High. When I was studying, I didn't describe no religion. But guess what? When I came home after so many years, a lot of them boys were still out there. I had alphabets. They were still in there. They just coming home 30, 40 years from now, right? Because you know why I ascribe to no one thing. I was simple. I believe in God for one. I believe in black people and us being great, knowing what I've learned through all my reading. Nobody had to tell me no more. I seen it. The first question next to me, I'm like, damn. When they first called that jail cell, I was 17. I'm like, damn, I messed my life. I'm all on news for 2 years on news, right? I was wild. And my mom like, damn, we really messed up? We really messed up? All I remember seeing black people on TV, either for sports or crime, going to jail or something. You all ever seen any black positive figures? All on news. We wasn't getting no good roles in Hollywood. We was always playing some characters, right? And for me, I was like, let me research. And once I was reading, you know, Diop, you know, Dr. Ben, Dr. John Henry Clark, you know what I'm saying? Malcolm, I just read all these books. Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey. I'm talking about, it's just so many books, I can't even call them, y'all. I'm serious, right? I was like, damn, we are great people, we just don't know it, right? So for me, I look at the chat here, people talking about, and I'm about to go to the check. I know I'm adjusting this, but I gotta get this on my chest, right? I always been a simple dude with a good heart and about the people. I'm telling y'all, stuff happened in my life. People won't believe it. I'm serious with the Most High. That when I had to fight the police, when I really did my thing, I ain't get tased, I ain't get shot or nothing. Afterwards, they right to king me. But I'm saying, though, I've been in positions where only the Most High got me out. Even when I was 17 going there, all the time, and get that time back faster than anybody back home. I know, there's a God. I seen it, right? You know what I'm saying? Even when I sit back, I watch what happened to G. Y'all see, I can't talk that good. My words come out all mumbled up. I have a speech impediment. For me to get the power, you know what I'm saying, to just speak out and fight for this brother, because I seen what our people was doing to him. I already seen, I knew the government gonna come after him. When I see our people talking to this brother, came out in that water and went to speaking. And I give it all the Most High, because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a bit shy, believe it or not, but I'm confident because I know something. I got something that's big over head of mine, so I'm not scared to live it. But at the same time, I'm telling people, I don't care what you believe in. I don't care what you read. Because I know a lot of people that's so deep, so-called deep in the faith, but not really representing it. It's so spiritual. They're so caught up into the upper. I see what the battle preachers. They preach to people and they keep everything in the sky, but have no answers, for the questions that they deal with everything in their life. And to me, you kind of loose up there. You're not really looking at reality. See, that way they talk about Jesus, Joshua, whatever they want to call this black man, right? You want to talk about it, but you don't talk about what he did. You don't talk about how he was revolutionary, how he went to temples and cut up, how he exposed the wicked people, the people with the money. They don't want to talk about how he was really there for the poor. You know what I'm saying? We use it as symbolism. We use it as a means of getting over. I went to New Orleans Baptist Seminary in New Orleans. They teach you how to run a church like a business. I know personally. And I graduated. I'm not preaching though. I graduated. Well, make a long story short, we just understand the dynamics behind it. Because for me, I'm not about forcing nobody to religion. I have done that. I only fuss about politics. Because people already have in their head what they think, and I'm cool with that. Like I said, this is not about talking about our history and religion. I ain't with that. You believe what you believe. Like you said, brother, we have no time for none of that. We either on board or you're not. We have to unite. And for me, I'm telling you, I seen people, and I see people right now that dig. Speak the gospel. Even the Muslims. I hear brothers talking. I got brothers I'm cool with that's down hard, but I don't see I don't see the fruit. Because it's too much individualism and then the collective effort, So I'm not going to chat. That was a sidebar. But people don't realize I'm a simple dude. I don't try to push my opinions. I don't try to that's not me. And even with my platform, I have openly disagree with people, and people never knew that. Because I don't try to the conflict. Only way I said Afro descendant, because that's already in the making. I know about Afro part and what have you. I'm like, well, that's already going on and what have you. Let's try to, stay, focus on what's can happen from this and what have you. And we won't make modifications on the name and so forth, so on. But we have to realize that a lot of things that come out of our mouth don't always be original. Don't always be, like you said, watered down. It's been interpreted from another group and what have you, and written and what have you. But research, we find out everything, and then we'll deliver. So I just wanted to just get that off my memory.
Yeah, man. A lot of stuff has been changed around. A lot of stuff has been just changed around. Street signs have been turned the opposite way. Stories have been. When a set of people send people to school, on what they call on a Rhodes Scholarship, and then take them out and send them abroad to London and sit with them and tell them, look, I want you guys to rewrite American history. And then they come back over here and they formulate the American Historical Society. And they go on to rewrite history. How do you rewrite history? You either write history or you don't write it. You can't rewrite it unless you're going to relive it. You understand? This is what we're dealing with here. So a lot of times, you know, when you hear people talk about this and that, and use certain words, see, I look at words as being very important. They say in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So when somebody uses a word, especially in the English language, it can have several meanings. And even in the Latin tongue, it's a little bit more precise. You know what I mean? And then in the other tongues like Aramaic, Arabic, Amharic, Ge'ez, these languages are more precise because they are original languages. You know, so when I hear certain words and then I go back and I look at the etymology of the words and the origin and how these words came into existence and the true meaning of these words, and I begin to realize that a lot of the words that we use have been made up by other people. And then I realized that one of the reasons why our people are the way they are, one of the reasons why our people cannot unite is because they have spells on them. And these spells are delivered to our people on the vibration of words. Because every word is a sound, you know, and these sounds are vibrations, and every vibration has a cause and effect, you know. And a lot of people may look at this as real simple. And I tell people, I say, look, stop calling your children kids. And I say, and they look at me and say, what are you talking about? I say, well, a kid is a baby goat. Why would you call your child a kid? And if you call your child a kid, that implies that you, the mother, is a goat, and you, the father, is a billy goat. And neither you are that. You know, so call your children what they are. They're children. And if it's a male child, he's a son. If it's a female child, he's a daughter. If it's a male child, it's a male. If it's a female child, it's a female. Call your children what they are. If you want to call them anything, say those youths of today, you know, those sons and daughters of today, the children of today. But when you start calling them these terms, and we think, oh, everybody, you know what I'm talking about. Well, say what you're talking about. You know, we don't understand that. It's so, how can we unite when we cannot make simple adjustments to our vocabulary? You know, how can we unite? Some people think that's irrelevant. It's irrelevant that I'm calling my child a kid because everybody know what I'm saying. But it's not irrelevant. You're calling your child a baby goat. Your child is not rolling, meh, meh. Your child don't do that. Your child speak words. And so the child is a child, you know, and people say stuff like I said before, you know, they say, you have a nice house. You have nice children. Why don't you say you just have good children? You live in a good neighborhood. Why can't I say you live in a nice neighborhood? You know, nice means stupid. You know, when you go to the origin of the word, the etymology of the word, you would find out that what most of us are saying,
brother,
we're not really saying.
You gotta get in the chat. It's over 2 hours. We gotta get in the chat, so we gotta.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Do your thing.
No, Phil, what you about to say? I'm just saying.
No, that's it. That's it. Really, I'm really just having a conversation. So whatever you're seeing in the chat, you know, because my chat, you can see probably better than me.
All right. Security, thank you. She said, Major, your ancestors were always with you because you had a mission to fulfill as you grow, coming from the mother of a son. Thank you so much. There's a bunch of comments. So I'm not trying to go through all, you can go to some of them and what have you. Soul journey of life, light doom. Peace and blessings back fam. Salute the elder. Salute to at MajorTvLetsTalk. Thank you so much.
All praises to the Most High.
TNT with Mike and Jazz. Wow, just sitting here listening to the powerful words of Elder Cherari and Brother May. This is amazing. Our community needs to hear and embrace these principles. Powerful black power. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sis. Thank you. Thank you. You know, and we're coming with the music too, you know. So the music is going to be something that the people are really going to begin to see more in depth of what we're talking about. Our job is not just to create unity amongst our people, but to have our people work together in harmony. you know, and that's what's been missing the whole time, you know, harmony. And that's why you see arguments going on. You see the different leaders and the different people, you know, they fight against it. They're united, but they're not harmonizing. We need that the element of harmony, you know, and that's because, you know, a lot of us are damaged goods, you know, a lot of us are damaged goods, you know what I'm saying?
And me and the elder do have beautiful positive vibrations and what have you. So trust me, he's a very humble brother. Even if there's a disagreement, he stays in character. He definitely bring home a valid person, what have you. But I want to let y'all know we have a beautiful relationship. When the truth of power, when truth of power walks in the house, all the rotten will be disturbed. Ash. Real talk.
I share.
All right. A court of speaks says churches or agents of the states, they are beholden to their master 501c3.
Church, yeah, that's true. The church is also controlled by the Vatican. All churches are under the Vatican. So they're really, and you know, a lot of the black churches, like the Baptists and different people here, and black folks church, they say, well, you know, as long as you're a Christian church, the head of you is the Vatican and the Pope.
And let me add to that. You only can be choose. You're going to be used. You let allow people to use you. You know what I'm saying? I really believe that you can flip the government. You can use the government to your favor if you know how to. I don't know why don't people understand that they put evil on everything, but you're looking at somebody and learn how to do all that. You can do it, but a lot of these people, they're caught into that mindset of pleasing the master. They call it the mindset of the money and obeying and doing this, that, and other. You know, right hand do with your left hand do it, just as simple as that. I just feel like a lot of times we make things so scary and spooky. You just gotta think, you gotta know how to navigate and maneuver. Because you're gonna be dealing with these people until you get crushed. You're gonna be dealing with them. They ain't going nowhere at all. You know, unless you can crush them. 10-2 with Mike and Jazz. Some people find their way through the door, then shut it behind them and leave others knocking. Facts.
Yeah, and to speak on what was just said, that is so true. Have you ever heard people say to you, "Pray for me, pray for me, pray for me"? And for years, you know, I ain't saying nothing about that, I ain't feel anything. But one day I just said, "Wait a minute, I can't pray for you." And when people say that to me, I say, "Listen, I can't pray for you. You're going to have to do that yourself. But I'll pray with you. And I'll have you in my prayers." You see what I'm saying? It's a difference than me praying for you, because that's something you do for yourself. But I can pray with you, and I can hold you in my prayers. You see what I'm saying? It's a totally different. So sometimes when we begin to understand how the spirit works, because remember, you know, we are not the physical. We are the breath that we breathe in and out. And so it is the renewal of that breath that gives us power.
You know what just happened? Stop and listen to the people. We are all saying the same thing. The spirit is moving in Zion. Hold on, we ain't got long. I mean, I beg to differ. I feel like we've been doing that since post-slavery, you know, with the Marcus Garvey, Booker T. Washington, and W. Du Bois, with Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, with Jesse Jackson and Farrakhan, and up until now with all the people that's in Farrakhan still around. Just that don't mean nothing because we saying the same thing, but we dividing the people because we don't like each other. We dividing the people because we can't sit in the same room. You gotta realize why people didn't get on the GMJ. They got on GMJ because leadership didn't side with him, didn't agree with him. Yesterday in my live, I only showed one prominent leader, one black person that's in the black pro-black movement that spoke out. That was Umar Johnson. 2-3 times strongly support. I play it tonight. When I play it tonight, I play it for y'all. Want to see y'all here tonight? I'll play it again for y'all. He the only person supported openly and publicly supported GMJ. Ain't nobody else came out and publicly support him to that degree. Like when he did a Pacific live or recording about GMJ and about how important NFAC was. Free GMJ, important about what he did. We need the military and so forth. So on. Us talking like this is a sign, but like me and the elders talking about today, we have unity. We just unified behind the wrong thing. Let's go to the Black Party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's hookah ball. You know what I'm saying? Let's go out and have some fun. We're party behind that. We've been talking this talk and not coming together. You know, so don't be deceived by that. All these black militias that was inspired by GMJ did not support GMJ at the end. A lot of them deflected and did their own thing. You know, didn't even acknowledge them in Tulsa. So that's why him and I, me and the elder, is talking about if we don't unify. That's the whole point of why we say don't unify. So you come in, elder.
And to also add to what the individual is saying, Choki speaks, you know, it is correct. Unity is happening because we are dealing with evolution. They want a revolt because that's how they generate their God, which is money. They generate their God through destruction, self-destruction, destruction of property, destruction of the earth. They are able to then go and rebuild. And so that's how they generate money. So unity is happening. Okay. And we are listening to the people and we all are saying the same thing. But actions speak louder than words. Now, the scripture says, righteousness exalts a nation. Righteousness exalts a nation. Which nation is right? Is practicing righteousness right now on earth? Which nation? See? There's no nation that's dealing with righteousness. Which nation within the United Nations Assembly is defending righteousness? Which leader or ruler of nations in the United Nations is dealing with righteousness? See? So that means there's no nation that is exalted today. So we have to rise up and righteous nation. Righteous nation, meaning righteous people. People that don't get freaked out on little petty issues. People that can see through a smoke screen. People that's honest and sincere with themselves. And is willing to breathe themselves in every single day and know that they are not this flesh that they see every morning when they get up. Know that they are powerful. Know that they're more than this flesh. And then we unite on that basis. On the basis of that spirit that moves inside of us that is identical. I might wear a different shirt today. You might wear a different shirt. You may be a woman. I may be a man. You may be a child, a little young sister, a little young brother. But the breath that we're breathing is the same. And if we unite on the basis of that spirit, that breath that gives us life, now we are one with the natural powers of nature.
Speaking truth, nothing but Obama needed a black crew on the project. I hear you, brethren. Trump was the answer to Obama.
Trump was the answer. It was the answer. What did I say? To Obama?
Yeah.
I get it, but I don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it.
You don't have to respond to every comment too.
No, I'm trying to. I want to understand everything. You know, truth. Okay. A black crew. It'll never happen. Because he's in the White House. It's a White House.
The Black Power, Sister Elena will be in Cleveland, Ohio, all the 21st at the first. Just be black gathering. That's good. She definitely to be there. We are one nation of many tribes of African Descendant Confederation.
Afro Descendants Confederation. Okay. That's it. That if I can Google that, couldn't I?
Yeah,
I'm gonna look them
Israel
up.
is in Africa. Israel is in Africa. Yeah, it's right next to without looking on the map. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And everything was a part of Africa till they divided and whatnot. Let's see, because
You know that the pharaohs are ancient. You know, the pharaohs were there a long time before Israel came into existence. Israel, based upon scripture, you know, and I'm talking about the Bible itself. You know, Israel is an engrafting. You know, it's like you engraft. It's like a what you call a hybrid based upon scripture. It's a hybrid, and it came into existence. And if you notice throughout the Bible, Israel is said to be chosen by God. But then again, it says Israel is constantly backsliding. You know, constantly backsliding. So I'm still trying to understand that reality in terms of how Israel continues to do that.
Yeah. Afro is defined as hairstyle which naturally kinky and tightly curled and styled in such a way to stand out around the head.
So now that well, you know, that's the definition of it. Now you got to then link that with the entire statement. Afro descendants or Afro, because see, I remember when the Afro first came out, nobody had Afros before. You know, it wasn't even looked upon. People went to the barber shop. You know what I mean? They had hair style like you right now, and I forget what they call the other one. You know what I'm saying? But then when the Afro came out, it became very popular because it was like black people trying to identify themselves, trying to be seen as it was a black identity thing. You know what I'm saying? And that went on for some time, and then the next thing we started seeing white folks with afros. It was like, oh shit, the white boy with an afro. This white girl got an afro. You know what I'm saying? And then we was like, oh, black folks can't have nothing.
One of the oldest tribes in East Africa is called Far. The word Africa derives from these people, not Afrikaners. Afrikaners was named so because he traveled to every Africa, not named after. He got the Italian man. Look, I advise everybody, son of my brother, y'all research everything. But you know what you have, what you see, research it. Like if anybody is speaking about
you're breaking up, brother.
I said, I'm here to say that this is a disclaimer, right? That if I speak about anything with history, Africa, whatever, you see people saying things, y'all make sure y'all research that. Because don't try to repeat stuff you haven't researched it. You know what I'm saying? I advise that. That's my disclaimer, you know. We should information out there, but I don't want to call everything the fact, you know what I'm saying? But definitely research it. Please do. You know, don't get no conversation, talk to somebody, then they pull out a book on you and sure you don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
It's a Roman general by the name of Scipio Africanus, some name like that. I'm paraphrasing, but it's an Italian. Well, you know, Rome. When we say Rome, we're talking about Italy. Right. You know, the Vatican. You know, we're talking about that. But that's where that came from. That just like when Rhodesia was named after Cecil Rhodes, which is which was a British. I think his name was I think he might have been a Jewish Brit. You know, and he went down there and, you know, he called the place Rhodesia, and then he gave it up to the Boers, and they established apartheid, and, you know, and all that. That's just the general history of the place.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying nobody's saying that wrong. I'm not saying nobody's saying nothing wrong, you know, because this could be all fact.
Look,
I just want everybody to know, please research, you know.
Yeah, we should all. You know, even if a person is not speaking in terms of, even if a person just speaking their own like a dialogue thing, and they hear something that they might find interesting, just go ahead and Google it, or and then from there, so search it out, go
A whole
deeper into
bunch
it.
of comments, man. They got a whole bunch of comments. I can't go through all your comments. I'm not going through your comments. I'm bouncing through your comments. You probably thank you, Shalom family. I came and tell in the show. This has been a powerful message. It is the life to see, um, to see two men agree to disagree. Just be black, family. Always. Ain't too
Oh
much.
man,
Man, I just wanted to clarify some things what Lana was doing. I didn't want to get caught up in the wordplay. But
yeah, when it appears that we may be disagreeing, it's really not a disagreement. What we're doing is we're reasoning. Within reasoning, you are able to get a deeper understanding, or get something more than what you came to the table with. I'm learning a lot just from being alive. Every day I learn something new. So I'm like, I don't claim to know everything, and I don't really want to know everything. I don't believe in that kind of concept. I think there's something to learn every single day and every moment, every day. I think learning to master the moment will give you control of the seconds and the minutes and the hours and the days and the weeks and the months and the years. So I try to be in each and every moment, because that's where things is happening. It's not in the second and the minute. They can clock that. They can tell you 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and that's seconds. They can clock that. How do you clock a moment?
be careful what we put in the atmosphere. Optimistic always, of course. I definitely believe that.
Definitely optimistic always.
But I also add to the fact we should research it too. People should not be gullible when they hear me, the elder, anyone speak. Research, write stuff down. That's why we got the comment, we got the chat in the comments. Ask questions. Make us confirm. We saying send you to a book. A proper researcher. Like if somebody, like for instance, I just did a young man case, right? I did a young man case. I think a year ago. I filed post conviction relief. He pled guilty, gave him his case, right? My friend of mine, that's his brother-in-law. I look at his case from scratch. I found the errors. He pled guilty. I found the errors. I researched it. I draw it up, typed it, gave it to him, told him to get a lawyer how to get in court. Right now, the guy in court, you might be in this case, right? I give all praise to the Most High. But I said to sit here, I walked him through step by step. I showed him case law. Where his guilty plea was illegal. I showed by case law his counsel was ineffective. The counsel didn't do her job in filing certain motions, right? Certain questions and whatnot. And right now, this contact, and I'm giving them directions, right? That's how our people should be when they have questions or we talk about things you don't know. We're supposed to walk you through it. So yes, be careful of what you say. Like for me, I try not to be too boisterous and talk about a lot of things. Because a lot of times I come from the top of my head. I'm still reading, but a lot of times I'm off into other ways of creating and building and just not strictly in them books like I used to be as deep. You feel me? I go back to reference only, but I have to keep reading. There's so much else we got to conquer in reference to building and growing and whatever. That's why I've been focused at, right? But I just wanted to say that we have to remember that when we get information from people like the Elder and I and anybody else, please research it. It's a must. You're not doing yourself no justice if you learn something from somebody and then turn around and arguing with go to arguing with somebody, come to find out you don't know what you're talking about. You can't prove nothing you're saying. I had a comment I want to go to. Dang.
And you can also have constructive criticism, you know what I mean? Yeah. Constructive criticism opens up a realm of understanding, Sometimes we can just, if you know something about a topic that you're hearing, just go ahead and make a comment or ask a question, and have a constructive criticism, because that really helps us to dig deeper into ourselves and maybe even clarify some things that might not be as clearly said, or put forth,
Yeah. Keep talking, Major. We need to hear this. Thank you so much. Kara said, This is harmonious as it gets. Peace and blessings, my brothers. Thank you so much. We are all united on this platform. I think this is a great start. Of course. This is very, very beautiful.
One thing I'd like to say to the brothers too, I'd like to say to the brothers and the sisters, I think we're all damaged goods. You know, even as a lot of us think we got our shit together, we don't have it together. We never got any kind of psychological help. We never got any kind of moral support from the society. We've just been beat down for so long. And you know, as black men, we need to leave the black women alone for a moment, not abandon them, just step aside and just look at each other man to man and sit down with one another as brothers and talk about things, you know, together, and learn how to heal ourselves as men without the aid of women. Learn how to heal ourselves. And the sisters need to do the same thing too, so that when we do come together as a unity, because this is also a part of the process of activating that natural power that is in nature, that belongs to us. That natural power that is in nature belongs to us. It's a part of our infrastructure. And when we will not gain access to it until we gain access to ourselves. You know, we will not gain access to this power until we gain access to ourselves. So as men, we need to come together, and we need to, as individual men, we need to turn within ourselves and begin to forgive ourselves as individuals. And then we can turn around and forgive our brothers. And so we need to formulate a social movement of black men dedicated to self-healing and self-strengthening. And we need to also develop a group of black women dedicated to self-healing and self-strengthening. This is without the man or the woman. These have to be groups they're not together, because women are a distraction to men and men are a distraction to women. You know, that doesn't mean we don't interact with each other in the society. It just means that when it comes to correcting the ills, we have to do that. That's a part. We can't skip that. We cannot skip that, you know, because we'll never be able to unite fully until we heal ourselves. And it's not the black woman's responsibility to heal a black man, nor is it the black man's responsibility to heal the black woman. The man's responsibility to heal himself first, and the woman's responsibility is to heal herself first. And then once they have healed themselves, now they can have a sensible, beautiful, joyful, loving conversation. And we can get somewhere in life. You know, we can begin to unite. We can begin to build. And that's something we can do in one day. So for all the brothers and the sisters that are listening, the challenge would be, in 24 hours, forgive yourself. In 24 hours, begin to love yourself. In 24 hours, brothers begin to show another brother that you care about him, that you love him. And sisters, the same with the sisters. And you see, that will begin, that's the movement begin, that's the change right there towards unity. That's the movement towards unity. We'll begin to see each other different. We'll begin to look at each other different. We'll know we're different. And we'll know our voice. When we speak, we'll speak with that humbleness. And don't relapse. Don't relapse. After you do that, don't relapse. You must remember that forgetfulness is a virus. Forgetfulness is a pathogen. Do not forget. Don't forget that you have forgiven yourself. Don't forget that you have loved yourself. Share that.
True, but yes, Major TV, you're excellent leader. You are for the people, and I appreciate you. I don't call myself a leader. I just call myself a person that's for the people. I love the people. Like
brother.
You know,
You're a brother.
You know, I'm a brother. You know, I'm just
you know, when people say to me, yes, sir, I say, please don't call me sir. Just call me brother. I remember back in the days, man, he said, hey, brother, what's up? It wasn't no sir. And I know they don't mean no disrespect by saying sir, you know what I mean? I know that there's a certain amount of, like, we've been cultivated to think that when you say sir to somebody, but let me tell you something. When you call somebody brother, when you say brother, that means more than sir. That means we brother. That means we family. When I say, hey, sister, how you doing? That means, when I say, hey, ma'am, what the hell is that? I have to respect you. I call you what you are. You're my sister. You my brother. We have to change our words to bring about the unity that we're talking about. Because ma'am and sir does not unify us. It separates us. But brothers and sisters, oh, look at a young child, a young one, you say, hey son, how you doing? I feel it too, man.
This conversation is, I mean, it got a lot of stuff going on. I'm trying to bounce through it. We got a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm trying to, show respect to them, but it's time for us to go to bed. But
we're going to unite, bro. Unity is happening, like the sister says. Unity is happening. It is happening. We must be patient. If we're not patient, we will become a patient in the ICU. If you're not patient, you will have to go to the emergency room, and then you will become a patient in the ICU. And you don't want to be a patient in the ICU because you don't know what they're going to do to you. So be patient. Patience is a virtue.
This
positive vibrations.
Positive vibrations.
Hey.
I can't even talk no more. Anyway, I can't even talk no more. Anyway, this conversation is much needed because we are divided by terms such as original, Kemetic, Muslim, African. We declare everything but the child of Yah. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. Now I'm gonna get a little. I'm gonna come back to. I'm gonna talk about that later because I just feel like that you just did the same thing you said they're doing. See, Jim J said one thing, right? We all are black, which we know that's not a he said we black first, but let's just say we Capitan whatever first. Everything come after that, right? So in a sense, you're kind of contradicting yourself because people calling you a child of Yah, you know what I'm saying? And the people saying acknowledge the Most High, that's all really matter, you know what I'm saying? We understand we do believe different. We worship different. That's just what it is, you know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, we life. At the end of the day, we life. We breathe in and we breathe out. And if we don't, we cease to exist. We are life. We're the manifestation of life. That's what we are.
But even if a person don't believe, if it's for the people that will matter, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just hate to say it, that I grew up in my lifetime. I'm a half a century, y'all. I seen us been divided behind religion, beliefs, spirituality. Let's say spirituality, because everybody trying to say everything spirituality. A lot of it's not spirituality; it's religions or religious beliefs. Yeah. It's really religious belief, but not everybody wants to say everything. It's not spirituality. Spirituality is the connection between you and the Most High. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And you understanding your purpose. And too many times, it's like we still with the fight. We still saying things that keeping us divided. We still saying things that make people not want to gravitate to what we're all about. That's why I try to push how I feel and believe about everything. Just tell it how it is. I'm gonna let the Most High let me shine. I'm gonna touch people. I'm gonna like. I don't know. I just feel like hashtag turn words into actions. And this brother can tell you like how in action, it's been all love. You know what I'm saying? He never tried to. Yeah,
Just be.
Just be.
And we said, what do you mean just be? Just be good. Just be loving. Just be kind. Just be serious. Just be you. Be real. Be true. Be peaceful. Be all that is good. Be righteous.
Look what Malcolm said when he had the press conference when he started Afro, Muslim, Afro American, whatever organization he started, right? He was talking about that Malcolm was one of the people that was trying to bring all the black people together to solve this in the black community, right? And he gave a press conference. And I also dropped it on my YouTube channel. He was saying like, look, we ain't dealing with nobody religion. He said we dealing with black people and our wishes. He said your religion ain't been doing nothing. Just go throw the clouds and get you another one. And Jim J came back and said the same thing. and we were black first, so from. We have to focus on, like, when I met this brother, I ain't care if he believed in Yah, whoever. You know, when he most pleased the most, he said the most high is all I need to hear. You feel me? He the most high illuminate all that beauty inside him that gonna touch me and everybody else.
Yeah.
We have to stay focused on our people. There's nothing wrong if we believe in certain things. We look at things different and what have you. Like I keep saying, they gotta slow down a bit. I keep saying 5 miles down. Need some construction, need some labor, need some products in them, need people to go to help. Brother on Chara, he won't walk. I won't catch the bus. Linda won't go to Greyhound. Virginia won't catch an Uber. HH won't fly. But we fussing about how to get there. It doesn't matter. See, if we just let everybody do what they do, but we stay on one accord, we can win. And it's the problem with the Christian and Muslim. The problem with Christian and Muslim, right? They can't agree because their beliefs gotta not agree. That's all it is. Republican, Democrats, Independents, it just don't agree. You feel me? And even though we gotta keep it in mind, we about Democrats, socialists, communists, and all that stuff in Africa. It's just been watered down, and we don't understand that. You know, all that stuff in Rome. They're talking about Rome had sin. All that stuff in Africa. What they did, rewrote history and never told you about it. But if we would agree and put our religion aside, look at the people. See, because when you put the people first, then you let the Most High work in you. When you put the people first, let the Most High work in you. But when you start throwing out stuff out there, that's division. We're not focused on the people. That's point blank, and that's what I see. Why you can't sit down and go to the community and do what you gotta do? We all in unison because you know why? We share common enemy. We share common cause. We share common issues. It don't have to be common belief, but we know we all black, copper tone, or Kemet people, what have you. We know all that. We know from the motherland. We know we look everywhere got somewhere people of color, melanated people. We've been dealt with. We've been discriminated and we've been destroyed. We know the genocide. We know this. We know we the great people. We're the greatest people in the world. I mean, not just history. It's showing right now we dominating everything. We creating this country, but we still don't get it. We talk about it a lot. We don't get it because you know why? We still can't sit down and talk. That's why when I talk to people, I never ask nobody what you believe in. I don't care. As long as you believe in the Most High, that's all what matter. You be a Muslim. My best friend's a Muslim. You know what I'm saying? But we agree on one thing about the people. And we didn't have our moment, we clash, but at the end of the day, it's about the people. When we all put the people first, we done drop the ball again.
I agree, brother. I concur. You know.
Security said, I'm sorry, go on, brother.
No, you're right. I'm just agreeing with you.
Major, did you say you were going back to Louisville tomorrow? If so, to catch up with you this time around by my brother. All right. Me and the elder going together. Going tomorrow when I come in, get situated, what have you. We come in tomorrow. We've been invited, what have you. We're going out there to support GMJ. And as well as the movement. It's not about NFAC, right? It's really per se not about GMJ. He is an integral part, but it's about drop charges against GMJ and everybody else has been falsely arrested and what have you. And so when GMJ pull up, all eyes gonna be on Jay. We already know that. So we're gonna go out there and cover. We're gonna go congregate. We're gonna be with the people. What I told y'all, look at the screen, hashtag turn word in action. Hashtag each one teach one. That's what me and the elder gonna do. It's all about putting boots on the ground. So if you want to say something, elder, you can say something.
All is good. All is well. All I know is that war is ugly and love is lovely. I know that this is about evolution. It's not about revolution. All I know is that those who are not willing to evolve into their liberation will fall with those who they stand with. If you're standing with the wicked, you will fall with the wicked. If you're standing with the unjust, you will fall with the unjust. If you're standing with envious and covetous people, you will fall with them. This is a time for discernment, discerning between what is right and what is wrong, and being a man or a woman and doing what is right instead of what is wrong. So stay positive, everybody, everyone, my brothers and my sisters, my sons and my daughters out there. Stay strong, because every man is a father, every man is a son, every man is a husband, every woman is a mother, every woman is a daughter, every woman is a sister. So you see, we don't have no aunts and uncles. It's just one family of mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, sons and daughters. So I want to say major thanks for having us. So we are already united. We just don't realize it yet. So until we realize that we are already united and just come together under the banner of righteousness. See, it's all about righteousness. It's all about what is right, what is true, what is decent, what is upright. See, if you can't unite under righteousness, truthfulness, uprightness, good and proper behavior, then there will be no unity for you. For those of us who understand the fullness of righteousness and is willing to become and to be peaceful and be loving to one another, then we are already united. Just a matter of time. Peace and love, yeah?
Peace and love. Hey, I'm saying uniting the Most High as the children, that farmer. Agreed. Look, I'm not gonna lie. It's too many comments for me to go through. I really appreciate everything. Y'all just dropping jewels. I mean, I'm looking. I don't even know where to start, man. As soon as I'll just pass y'all comments through as I normally do. My closing, what have you. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate your love and support. It was beautiful. This was all about, y'all. Look at the top of the screen. It says real engagement conversation with the black community. This was all about. It wasn't just about me or the elder speaking. Once we speak, we want to hear what you all have to say. Unfortunately, I'm not able to recite and go through everybody's comments. But I'm very grateful for everybody that's definitely tuning in and definitely just responding and what have y'all. Please like and share this video. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button as well as notification bell. I'm dropping content a lot. I want to thank everybody for the comments. Very, very powerful. It wasn't a right and wrong conversation. Don't get it twisted. I think all of us are right in our own way, and we are representing the positive side of our community. We need more of this every day, all day. There was somebody that did come to chat. I blocked. Y'all don't know. I have somebody that do my moderating. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes we don't be communicating, and when they do step away or not be in it, and most time I be knowing what's going on, right? But I caught somebody that tried to make a comment about Jim J. That had nothing to do with what we were talking about and talking about holding him accountable, like immediately flagged them because we don't have no time for extra energy. If you have issues with Jay, cool. But don't come on this platform thinking that we have to entertain anything dealing with how you feel and what you think. And some people think we trying to hold Jim J above the Most High, but no, we just showing reverence and respect to somebody that came in the light that informed us of things that we didn't. It's not that we didn't know about, just that we didn't have an answer how to deal with it. And for those who had answers and try to go aggressively, we know what happened. You know what I'm saying? And I respect the fact that as a people, we can agree to disagree. What I don't, like is the fact that we tend to miss the boat on a lot of things because we worry about all the wrong things. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't really care what nobody believe, and I'm serious. As long as you got the Most High in your life, as long as you're doing what's right, as long as you contribute in the community, that's all we have because they first start with you first. Where you at with the Most High? Where you at with yourself? How you treat your family and friends? How you in your community? Because a lot of us, we are outright messed up. A lot of us don't know how to interact and deal with each other because we so on some personal ish. We don't even know how to deal with what we really been through in our life. You know what we don't even know how to deal with our everyday interaction with our community, the powers that be on the job, at our business. A lot of times we don't know how to deal with family structure. We be having so much stuff inside of us that we don't know how to repull it. And then we get to the point where we really believe that what we represent and what we think is right can sometimes not be, because sometimes we be too opinionated. Sometimes we don't give a person a chance to say anything. We dominate the conversation. We believe because we come into the newfound knowledge that everybody already heard, and if they don't hear it, I'm gonna make sure you hear it. A lot of time, our ego. A lot of time, we don't even want to admit that we really be on some other stuff that I want people. We really be competing, and we don't even have to compete. It's so much we gotta do with ourselves. Being married is hard. I'm not lying, because sometimes I make this tough decision I'm not even ready to make. But I learned sometimes you gotta know how to yourself know. You gotta learn to tell other people no. And sometimes you gotta know how to just stand up. Because in the day, if you don't know how to stand up and you don't know how to represent you, then what we doing this for? Then what is all this about? It first start with you getting you together. A lot of us don't know how to have the money. A lot of us don't even know how to make basic, healthy life decisions because we caught in all the wrong things. A lot of us on social media too much, on YouTube too much. I'm watching everybody, and I'm not talking about literally video. I'm talking about I could just jump and listen what they're talking about. I could just check out the direction of it. And it, to me, I mean, I immediately just can feel the toxic. I can immediately feel the mixed emotions and the unnecessary drama. Like tonight, I wanted it to be a deep conversation. It was supposed to be a solo thing, right? I told Elder I was doing it. Let me come on in. In my mind, that's why I made sure I pushed Pendle for freedom.org. I pushed that for Ricans. Elena Polo been trying to push that since last year. If it's so we can get behind, we can get behind that. We can really, really get behind that. But I'm just say this. I mean, it's about 3 hours, y'all. We've been talking. And Elder can go, got win. Woo, got win. Anyway, I'm vibing with y'all right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm letting y'all comments flash over the screen because I want to be able to comment everything. I have to go to bed. I took a nap too, so I got a little more energy than I had last time. You know what I'm saying? But I want to let y'all know one thing. All your comments was beautiful. Real talk. Real talk. And I just want to just thank everybody. I'm at a 3 hour mark. I ain't going no more. But we had a, and I want to admit, I want to definitely acknowledge that we do have unity. I won't even lie, and we do have a unified message. We just don't know how to come together with it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes the message is kind of like diluted with a little pollution. You know what I mean is sometimes it's too extra. Sometimes we have a message and we throwing people in the message that shouldn't be in the message. We downing other people, tearing other people down. That's not healthy. Now, I don't try to do that. Like I said, I have disagreed with people on my channel you never knew because I don't like to be doing all that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I really don't. The only reason why I deal with it Elder because, like I said, if Africa descendant thing is something that Elena pushed out there, let's get behind it. Let's not go over to what the word meaning. Blah. We know Africa with the bit or with the bush, but you know also kind of related to Africa too. But at the same time, I respect the fact that he's all about clarifying some things and bringing truth. You know what I'm saying? But look, y'all been super. You know, I'm not gonna lie, y'all been super. I'm loving the chat, and I really, really appreciate everybody and what they have contributed to the channel throughout the years. In 2 months, It's gonna be 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Elaine in the building. What's up, Elaine? Salute, salute. Come back and watch the play. We definitely pushing Pandora for freedom.org. We pushing that talk tonight. Talk about Afro descendant, self-determination, have you. And if we don't unite, hey, you know what I'm saying? It could be bad, real bad. So I'm definitely pushing you out there, your website out there, your name on there, what have you. You need to come on this channel ASAP where you can start talking more. I've been reading all literature, what have you. We need to hear your verse. I know you're busy and I know you're doing your thing. We appreciate you, but we need you on the channel because black people need to get behind something. Right now, we have nothing that we truly behind, and you the only, as far as I know, you one of the organizations that then surface. I'm quite sure got things going on, but organizations that surface that have a nice platform with people that with organized I won't say parliament or Congress or organization or program or what have you, but I mean, hey, it's cool. We definitely it was definitely going on. I said all roads lead to Ohio. But sweetheart, we had a nice live. You need to call me too. You get a chance to call me tomorrow, stuff like that, you know. But thank y'all so much. Y'all coming in super late. All right, Jamaica, salute. Thank you for the support. Long time no see. I think I seen you a couple days and you appreciate it. It was a great live, very productive. I had the elder Chari did Elkadar, and it was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I see y'all coming in late. I'm sorry. It's been a 3 hour live. You know what I'm saying? Believe me, from front to all the way right now, it's been off the chain. The chat been off the chain. I won't even lie. There was a lot of stuff saying the chat I want to get to, but I was trying not to be catering to one person that was constantly doing. Anybody particularly was constantly chat. I was trying to touch everybody's chat, but I appreciate everything. Y'all really touched me. Thank you, Robin, for coming in. Love you too. Love all y'all. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm gonna to say try. Oh, look, I was gonna fly, but he gonna be driving, so I'm gonna take back like a while again. Cause someone come out of the truck tomorrow, I gotta get in the car hit on Louisville. So hey, you know, I'm giving to the Most High. We definitely gonna be we definitely have that trolley race all over us. We gonna be good. Real talk. I don't know what just happened, y'all, but look, that mean that's time for me to go. Yeah, catch the replay. Yeah, catch the replay. Y'all coming super late, huh? Look, Cayman Bay, what's up? Islam brothers and sisters, how y'all doing? Y'all coming in so late. Real talk. Love, peace, and joy for real. Real talk. Man, I gotta go. Y'all just coming in here like boom, boom, boom. But hey, I really enjoyed this live. It was beautiful. I won't lie. It was beautiful. Catch my live yesterday. That was nice too. What are we fighting for? I'm constantly dropping content, and I'm definitely welcoming everybody that that hit the tone of my verse. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit the notification button. Like and share the video. You know, y'all doing a great job in the chat. I'm loving it. Y'all definitely keep supporting the channel because I support y'all. I support black people. Thank you. I have to go real talk. So y'all, thank you so much. Got number love for y'all. Stay focused on code, just be black. Peace.